死んだは初めて俺に伝えている。
絶望の匂いだ。
面白いこと見せようか。ほら、こんなにガチンが多すぎて。
お父さん。
あかん。
ドナルド君、まだ死ぬ時じゃないでしょ。
アメリカ、万歳、ファイト。
絶対負けないよ。
ランド、トライドだね。
出ろ。だってまだサンキュー言ってないでしょ。一回も言ってください。
おい、仲良くしてるね。この世界、季節にいけるかな。昔グレートだった大きにまたグレートになるかも。あのさ、有名人なら誰かのマンコ掴んでいいさ。そうそうそうそう、見晴らせるで。
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage I. of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Friday night. And boy, oh boy, get comfortable because we have a lot to talk about tonight. Holy shit. Twitter is a complete shit show. Every day I feel like I start out this show saying that Twitter is a shit show, and today is no different. Oh my goodness. Obviously we have a lot going on with the Trump situation with the influencers and the right-wingers that he called out. We're going to talk about all of that. We got Artemis 2. We got news surrounding that. We've got Trump addressing all of that as well. But we're going to have to start out with the casino is under attack. This is all happening right now. The casino is under attack. And I'm going to talk about it because I think that we here in the YouTube sphere, we all kind of, we have our own thing going on. We all have our different opinions about this, that, or the other. But there's kind of one unifying thing that keeps all of us together. And that is we all frown upon false flagging. All of us. And when someone is false flagged, we like to rally around that person, whoever it is, because this is almost nearly a universal opinion of all content creators. This is kind of the line. And it appears that I'm not making any direct accusations as, it was the quartering involved with it or not. I'll let the people make up their mind. But Kino Casino's YouTube channel was just taken down. And this is after it was threatened to be taken down. So right here is my tweet. And Warski right here has addressed it. Hey, at Team YouTube, this is the quartering. Threatening my unbanned reviewed by a human and our editor's channel, Kino Casino Clips. He false flagged us. His channel has millions of subs. He used his power to silence us. We did not break TOS, and he threatened us. Please retweet. This is where he said it. That first will be your YouTube channel, which is in violation of a ban evasion, easy takedown, and next will be your kick. I literally begged you to be reasonable. I tried everything. You chose this. All I wanted was to let you guys dunk on me. He's implying that apparently, according to him, that they have gone after his family, which I don't know if I've seen evidence of that at all. I guess quartering can claim that people have gone after his family, and he can blame that on the casino, which that is just as much of a flimsy defense as Brie Larson faced racism attacks and sexism attacks, and it must be because the quartering and Geeks and Gamers made videos about her. That's essentially, he's pulling a Hollywood op is what he's trying to do right now. That's what's happening there. And I think that is absolute bullshit. So unless quartering wants to say that every single actor that he's ever made a video about if he is directly responsible for any harassment that those actors have faced, then he's going to fall flat on his face on that argument as well. So I just wanted to, let everyone know about this because that's absolutely crazy. And of course, Worski has a video right here talking about it.
Hey everyone, as you all probably seen, the Kino Casino clip channel was flagged down by the quartering. He's actually bragging about it right now by showing cards on his main Twitter page. And we weren't banned off of YouTube. We weren't ban evading. I was unbanned. I tweeted about this 3 days ago and I put the link. Well, someone just sent me a little tweet there and I checked the link. Not even terminated, just it's not appearing now. Okay, so he flagged or got this removed. My Andy Worski channel that was unbanned 6 months ago, got that banned, and the Kino Casino clip channel, even though we were unbanned. Everyone, could you @team YouTube for us and let them know that this is ridiculous and that we are appealing this, obviously. We're going to be on Kick here. I'm actually a minute late for starting the show. So, yeah, guys, we'll see you all on Kick.
So there you have it right there. So wanted to address this one off rip because I'd never like to see people caught up in a false flagging situation. And this is the type of stuff that you just don't come back from. So I will continue to highlight this and talk about this because I think this is a very important thing because we can't have people taking people down because they don't like the words that they are saying. It's not cool. And I stand with Kino Casino. So hail to the Kino Casino. And now we will get into the rest of the show. So we do have a lot to talk about. First of all, we got JMNZZ450. Thank you so much. And I appreciate it. JMNZZ450. Hail the 199. Thank you. Mar Millen says pre-stream chat grift tax. Boom. Thank you. Appreciate that. Mar Millen says quarter pounder going the route of Boogie. I got to show this. All right. Like I got to show this. So Quartering just tweets this out. And I guess he's claiming that the Israel derangement people are coming after him. I don't know. I criticize the anti-Israel people all the time and nothing's happening to me. But somebody says word going around is that you had the Kino Casino YouTube channel nuked. That's likely what's going on here. He says, I had nothing to do with it. I was at dinner all night. Remember that one, okay? Pretty sure they taunted the public telling them to flag them. I have already shown I didn't. They really want it to be me. Sadly, it wasn't. Best comment here is I was collecting boulders all night. Now, some people in my chat are going to understand that reference and some won't. But if you understand that reference right there, that's some internet lore from about 5 or 6 years ago, I think, maybe 7 years ago. But that's some that's so fucking funny, man. Again, half of you may not have a clue what I'm talking about, but the half that does understand that reference, that's fantastic right there. So anyway, we'll leave it there. But thank you, Mar Millen. I appreciate it. Maga Mike says these people haven't given any evidence of the Quartering being the one that flagged their account. Their entire evidence is he threatened us after they attacked his wife, claiming she was a swinger. Google it. Oh, I've looked at all of this, and Quartering. I don't. Here's what I think. My personal belief is that I don't think Jeremy Hambley is dumb enough to flag them, but what he did is he said the other day, he said, all you'd have to do is flag their channel. And then he said PPP's name. And I know everybody knows PPP's name. but he specifically said his full name and where he's from. And then he implied that they have a band evasion. He was basically wink, wink, nod, nod to his 400,000 followers. Okay. That's what he was doing. So he word for word said that shit. He knows what he's doing. All right. So yeah, I absolutely believe that he wanted this to happen and he intentionally put that out there as a wink, wink, nod, nod. It's bullshit, man. Gerald Armstrong says dead channel tax. You know me, man. Me, Yellow Flash, Gary, Drinker, all these dead channels. That's how we roll around here. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Dark Red Knight says, hey, Jeremy, scary times here. There was a shooting at my college less than 5 minutes from my house last night, leaving 1D and 2. Let's see. 1 is the scariest part is my sister goes there. The shooter is still at large. Fuck. What area is that? I'm live on Kino Casino right now. Is Kino Casino watching me right now? Kino Casino had like 12,000 people watching them earlier. Hang on. Am I live right now? Oh, they're watching. Okay.
I can't believe that you send this shit out, Jer. Like, I really can't. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro.
That's interesting.
Humble the fuck
Probably
out of you.
screenshot that.
Stop thinking you're better than the internet, smarter than the internet, because it ain't possible. Simple as that. So, but I'll be checking out all of that later. I've been watching it from afar, you know, and hey, man. I'm just getting the popcorn and watching the show play out.
Later on, after Jeremy posted his weird quasi apology, Geeks and Gamers, D-Day Cobra spoke on this again. We're going to watch that clip as well.
We'll tune into that later. So again, you guys go over there, show them some love. But we got a lot more to talk about tonight. I will watch all of that later on. Thank you, Pre-Dawn Corpse, and for everybody else. But yeah, they are some of the most entertaining people on the internet. Kino Casino is. And that's the simple rule of the internet, especially if you're a dude, okay? You don't have to be good looking. I'm pretty good evidence of that. You know, but I mean, our leader is Asmongold. So clearly you don't have to be a good-looking guy to be successful on the internet. You just have to be entertaining and authentic. It's simple as that, okay? And again, if you're a dude, nobody gives a fuck what you look like. Just be entertaining and authentic, all right? How's everybody's weekend, by the way? Just curious about that. How was your weekend? All right. Dark Red Knight, be safe, brother. Sorry to hear that, man. Be very safe. Jose M says, in the latest Alyssa clips, potentially criminal, Sean discussed quarter flagger and shouted out Geeks and Gamers and said, hell the 199. Let's freaking go, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Listen, man, I'm not here for internet drama. I'm not here to fight. I'm not here to get into all of that. YouTube drama is the gayest thing on the internet. But when somebody has been done wrong, you gotta plunge your hand into the filth, and you gotta help clear the name of the people that have been done wrong. So that's exactly what I'm here for. I can't stand by and watch something like that. Zioni says, have you seen Tucker Carlson new merch where he tried to act cute and troll Trump, but it failed miserably? But man, what the F happened to this guy? Yeah, so Tucker Carlson came out with these low IQ hats. Listen, man, you're never going to out Trump. You're just never going to do it. And to believe that you can out Trump is fucking amazing. That's never going to happen. You just give it up, bro. Okay? In fact, let me show you what he did. So the low IQ hats are just, oh my gosh, man. Tucker Carlson hat. It just doesn't play when you are clearly trying to be just like Trump. Right here it is. Just in, Tucker Carlson releases low IQ hats in response to Trump's True Social post. Not going to work, man. I'm sorry. Not going to work. End of discussion. All right. In fact, here we go right here. Okay. Why don't I have audio? Let me refresh because I have no audio right now on that. Let's refresh. See if we can get audio. Yeah, there's literally no audio. There we go. I got it now.
Back in
All right, here we go.
Tucker Carlson's net favorable. Back in March of 2024, when he and Donald Trump were very close friends, look at this. He was at plus 54 points. Look at where he is today at only plus 7 points among Republicans, and that includes GOP-leaning independents. I mean, that is a drop of what, 47 percentage points. My goodness gracious, when you go up against Donald Trump and you want to appeal to the Republican base, to quote the movie Good Burger, you go on the grinder, and that is exactly what has happened to Tucker Carlson, who has absolutely collapsed among Republicans.
So if it is a choice between the president and Tucker Carlson among these voters, what do they basically say?
Yeah, they choose Donald Trump basically every single time. Look at this. Okay, the exact same poll.
So I saw a comment right here. Hang on. Where'd it go? If Trump wasn't involved, Jeremy would be applauding Tucker for monetizing the haters. Well, if you were a man, I might respect your opinion, but you're not. So tough titty, right?
UMass Lowell poll. Look at this. Net favorables among Republicans. Again, this is Republicans plus Republican-leaning independents. You see Carlson on the right side of your screen at plus 7 points. Look at where Donald Trump is at plus 61 points. And this is actually a little bit low for Donald Trump. In other polls around the same time, he was even higher than this. Again, he is crushing Tucker Carlson. What is this? This is a 54-point advantage for Donald Trump over Tucker Carlson when it comes to who is more popular among Republican voters. And of course, this isn't even just talking about the MAGA base, where Donald Trump is running an approval rating somewhere between 97 and 100%.
Yeah, going up against Trump is it's a death sentence for anybody on the conservative, Republican, non-leftist side. It just is. Have fun with this, Tucker. I mean, again, Tucker, I've talked about this. Tucker, in my opinion, was the most popular person in the entire MAGA Republican conservative movement, next to Trump, obviously, which he was nowhere close, but he was the most popular guy at the height of him being fired. And then when he took over his Tucker Carlson network and Elon was retweeting him and he was having all these huge guests on, he was going to Turning Point events, he was going to MAGA rallies, Tucker Carlson was the most popular person outside of Trump. He had everything going for him. He had everything. People wanted him for VP, everything. He pissed all this away himself. Simple as that. So it is what it is, man. I don't have any sympathy. So yeah, so you do this right here. Like, who's going to wear this that's just going to go out in public? And like who's going to wear that? Like, I don't understand this. Like, why would you want your own followers to wear something that literally says low IQ? You're not playing off a word. Like, we have IDOT, okay, which is clearly misspelling for idiot. So it creates a question of like, IDOT, is that supposed to say idiot? It creates a conversation. Like, it's not like the hat literally says idiot. It says IDOT. So people are like, what does that mean? This literally just says low IQ. Why would you wear this? Like, why would you? This is so stupid. This makes no sense. I'm gonna show you Trump. I'm gonna put on a hat that says low IQ and walk around. What? Doesn't make any sense. It's so stupid. So yeah, I mean, whatever, man. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. Holy fuck. Now, what's interesting, okay? Now, who's one of the primary people that a lot of these influencers are upset over? One of the primary names that we continue to hear is Mark Levin, right? Okay. Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, Megyn Kelly, they all hate Mark Levin. They can't stand Mark Levin. They're really, really, really angry about that guy. Now, so I have to ask you a question. In the past 2 years, keep the time frame here in mind. Okay? In the past 2 years, what has Mark Levin specifically done in the past 2 years that would create all of this anger towards him? Very, very curious about that. Not overall, but like in the past 2 years. What has he done specifically? The reason I ask that is because 2 years ago, Megyn Kelly had Mark Levin on her channel. This is on Megyn Kelly's YouTube channel. This is not clipped from somewhere else. This is not re-edited. This is a video that is directly from Megyn Kelly's YouTube channel. Okay? Listen to how Megyn Kelly talks about this man who she now claims cannot speak to Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not allowed to speak to this human being right here. So let's listen to what Megyn Kelly had to say a couple years ago.
I really want to thank you. You know, I've admired you for a very, very long time. I've never understood why we never talked to each other, but it doesn't matter. Here we are today, thanks to you, and I appreciate it.
Oh, it's truly an honor. It's like
An
there are
honor?
certain people, and it's
An
a
honor?
very small list who I consider appointment viewing. And it's like, whenever I see you, I stop. Whenever I see Mark Levin clip, I stop. Whenever Mark Levin has a book, I read. It's just, there is such a small collection of people who are truly brilliant and honest. That's, you're honest to a fault, and you're not just some partisan hack. You chart your own way. You've been there. You were in the Reagan administration, chief of staff for the attorney general at the time, expert on the Supreme Court. So I want all of our listeners, I'm sure they already know that, but pay attention. You're going to learn something over the next hour.
Hey, Jeremy. Wow, okay. Hail to 109. So Any thoughts
that's
on pretty interesting right there, isn't it? So yet, Megyn Kelly now talks about Mark Levin
Since
here.
October of this year, he has been coming for me relentlessly. I mean, relentlessly, in the most vile and disgusting personal terms possible. I mean, this is like a 70-year-old man. He's in his like mid to late 60s or 70. Senior citizen with his show on Fox News on the weekend. He never made it in the prime time. You spend 5 minutes watching his show, you'll see why. He was not primetime material. We used to laugh at him behind the scenes.
What? Wait a minute. Spend 5 minutes watching his show. What did you just say here, Megyn Kelly?
To you, and I appreciate it.
Oh, it's truly an honor. It's like there are certain people, and it's a very small list who I consider appointment viewing. And it's like, whenever I see you, I stop. Whenever I see Mark Levin clip, I stop. Whenever Mark Levin has a book, I read. It's just, there is such a small collection of people who are truly brilliant and honest. That's, you're honest to a fault, and you're not just some partisan hack. You chart your own way. You've been there. You were in the Reagan administration, chief of staff for the attorney general at the time, expert on the Supreme Court. So I want all of our listeners, I'm sure they already know that.
Let's listen to Megyn Kelly one more time. Let's listen to her one more time.
70-year-old man. He's in his like mid to late 60s or 70. Senior citizen with his show on Fox News on the weekend. He never made it in the prime time. You spend 5 minutes watching his show, you'll see why. He was not primetime material. We used to laugh at him behind the scenes at Fox because he's constantly red in the face and spitting mad and angry. That's his shtick. Okay, there's like some very small audience for that. I mean, very, very small. But that's not my problem. It's Fox's and Levin's.
These are the people that are going against Donald Trump right now. These are the people that warmed up to MAGA, that pretended to support MAGA, that pretended to support Donald Trump. And they fooled everybody. I got fooled. Now, with Megyn Kelly, I mean, Tucker certainly fooled me. Megyn Kelly, not so much. I mean, I never really, I wasn't sure, because we all remember her from back during the Trump moment with the debate and the Rosie O'Donnell and all of that. You know, so I never really was like, I'm convinced that Megyn Kelly is true MAGA, but you know, she was definitely she showed up at some rallies and she seemed to really kind of go full circle with everything. But this is really who she is right here. This is who she is.
One of the things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account.
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't. Your Twitter account.
Thank you.
For the record.
He said thank you. He said thank you to the audience. The ultimate showman, dude. The ultimate showman.
It was well beyond Rosie O'Donnell.
Yes, I'm sure it was.
Your Twitter account has several disparaging comments about women's looks. You once told a contestant on Celebrity Apprentice it would be a pretty picture to see her on her knees. Does that sound to you like the temperament of a man we should elect as president? And how will you answer the charge from Hillary Clinton, who is likely to be the Democratic nominee, that you are part of the war on women?
I think the big problem this country has is being politically correct. I've been challenged by so many people, and I don't frankly have time for total political correctness. And to be honest with you, this country doesn't have time either. This country is in big trouble. We don't win anymore. We lose to China. We lose to Mexico, both in trade and at the border. We lose to everybody. And frankly, what I say, and oftentimes it's fun, it's kidding, we have a good time. What I say is what I say. And honestly, Megan, if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I've been very nice to you, although I could probably maybe not be based on the way you have treated me, but I wouldn't do that. But you know what? We need strength, we need energy, we need quickness, and we need brain in this country to turn it around. That I can tell you right now.
So since Rosie O'Donnell was brought up, and this is just a rule on the channel, since Rosie O'Donnell was brought up, we have to play the classic Trump rant way back in the day. Trump talking about Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell's disgusting. I mean, both inside and out. You take a look at her, she's a slob. She talks like a truck driver. Rosie attacked me personally because I was very happy when her talk show failed. The other thing that failed, and this was a real monster, and everybody was suing her, was her magazine. Her magazine called Rosie was a total disaster. So I loved it. I gloat over it. I think it's wonderful because I like to see bad people fail. Rosie failed. I'm happy about it. She's basically a disaster. Well, she called me a snake oil salesman. And, you know, coming from Rosie, that's pretty low because when you look at her and when you see the mind is weak. I don't see it. I don't get it. I never understood. How does she even get on television? I believe Barbara made a terrible mistake putting her on, and I think Barbara's probably paying a big price. If I were running The View, I'd fire Rosie. I mean, I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers. I'd say, Rosie, you're fired. We're all a little chubby, but Rosie's just worse than most of us. But it's not the chubbiness. Rosie is a very unattractive person, both inside and out. Rosie's a person that's very lucky to have her girlfriend. And she better be careful or I'll send one of my friends over to pick up her girlfriend. Why would she stay with Rosie if she had another choice? She's trying to use ABC and The View to get even with me. But with me, we fight back. I'll probably sue Rosie because she doesn't tell the facts. As an example, I'm worth many billions of dollars. Now, she said I was bankrupt. I never went bankrupt. So probably I'll sue her because it would be fun. I'd like to take some money out of her fat ass pockets. I actually think they ought to look at her whole life and see where she's coming from because I think she's got some very deep-seated problems. Perhaps it should be Rosie that goes to rehab. Rosie is a loser.
And there you have the GOAT speaking on the issue of one Rosie O'Donnell. So that's Megyn Kelly, and just kind of shows who she is and what she's all about. Not surprising at all. We got Dark Schwartz Rising for 20 says, wouldn't it be amazing if Trump bought one of those hats and wore it on TV? It would, but they would try to use it against him. But yeah, man, he would do something like that. He really would. Mar Millen pretends says Trump isn't dumb enough to get his followers to wear low IQ on their head. Yeah, it's like that old is it RATM shirts with Chia on them, thinking he was against the machine. Oh, Rage Against the Machine. Rage Against the Machine. Yeah. Good old Rage Against the Machine, which now they rage for the machine. River Miles says Megan will bring up the shiny curse any day now. Waiting on it. Phantasmus Knox says that there's a tweet by Libs of TikTok where Hans Zimmer announced to his audience saying F Trump, and everyone there became sheep and cheered. Would be nice if these glorified jesters stayed quiet. Yes. So Hans Zimmer is one of my favorite composers. I mean, he's right there with John Williams. He's just another Hollywood clown. He's just another Hollywood loser clown. It's absolutely ridiculous that he would go up there in front of his audience and just say that he says, fuck Trump. That's what he says. He says, fuck Trump to his audience. And they all cheered because of course they did. But hey, at least, hey, Hans Zimmer, I got some really good news for you, Hans Zimmer. And I think this is going to make you very happy, Hans Zimmer. You and Alex Jones are on the same page. How does that make you feel, Hans Zimmer? You and Alex Jones agree. Maybe you should invite him to one of your concerts. I'm sure that'll make you happy, right, Hans Zimmer? Good job on that one. You and Alex Jones agree. Maybe you guys can be best friends. So Alex Jones has responded to President Trump. Holy shit. Now, I haven't watched all of this. I've watched the first minute. This is crazy right here. Like, this to me is the craziest response imaginable. I'm sure some of you have already seen this. This is crazy. This is the single worst response that he could have possibly given, at least to what I hear in the first minute. It's unbelievable. It's unreal. So here's Alex Jones' response to President Trump.
I'm just going to scorch earth Trump to get him back on track. Only way to do it is to go after him viciously. You've already shed all over me. And if you try to rub it in, I just at that point, I don't care anymore. So if you think I've been coming after you, if you think that I'm trying to get clicks by attacking you so the Democrats that don't buy anything from me and don't like me want to put me in jail, if you think I've been on your ass, say one more thing out of your mouth. And Laura Loomer, send him this, okay? One more thing. When I've gone through hell back in your ass because you were the lesser of two evils.
This man is threatening President Trump. Whew. Ooh.
Then I'm going to show you how the cow ate the cabbage. Do one more thing. You should be kissing my ass. But instead, you shed all over me and rub it in. I'm not looking for a fight, but if you want one, you came to the right place. So I'm like a rattlesnake. They're not really aggressive snakes. Water moccasins come after you and bite you. Cobras come after you. I'm like rattlesnakes trying to get away. I'm like, hey, leave me alone. Hey, please don't step on me. God, that really hurts. Please stop.
Alex, you're the one that hit him. You hit Trump first. You went after him. You said he had dementia. You said he needs to be 25th Amendment. Do you know what the 25th Amendment means? It means he's incapable of being president. You fucking said this. You did this. This is a classic leftist tactic. You hit first, he hits back, and now you're playing the victim. Fucking hell, dude.
Oh, your daddy's over here. Let me step on your mommy. Let me step on your kids. And I'm just like, all right. I'm like Darth Vader looking at Emperor Palpatine, looking like Skywalker. I'm like, all right. I'm going to politically throw you down the reactor shaft in 2 seconds. And just, hey, does Alex Jones bluff? No, I don't. You think I'm intimidated by you, Trump, the president
Wait, you wait a minute. You don't bluff, Alex Jones? I'm gonna have to pull this up, but hang on, let's see. I don't know if I can find this. But if you remember when Alex Jones threatened to investigate Candace Owens not too long ago? Wonder what happened to that. What happened to that investigation? Remember that? Alex Jones straight up said that he's going to investigate her. I'm trying to find the clip because I played the clip the other day. I'd love to find that so we can show point blank that, yes, Alex, you 100% do, straight up just bullshit. And you bullshitted with her because you said that you were going to go after her and you were going to investigate her and how mad you were. I can't find it right now, but maybe I can find it later.
Those of the United States, think I'm intimidated by your hit teams, all the rest of it. Whatever, man. You got God to deal with. I want to focus on the midterms, the Democrats. I want to promote what's good you're doing. And I want to be left alone. Now, most people would imagine today, if you tune into my show, with Trump viciously attacking me yesterday.
Oh,
the bunch of baseless garbage.
Dude, like, again, man, if you want to talk about his response, talk about his response. Framing this as he viciously attacked you is disingenuous and it's a lie. He responded to you. He viciously responded to you. He did not viciously attack you. You're framing this as a lie.
That I would just be spending all day attacking him and just creating all the controversial statements I could to just stay in the news. I don't care about getting in the news over some stupid quibble. Again, I have opened up my Google news alerts when your name's mentioned, and there's been 36,000 articles in one day about me. Remember all that? Again, AP's in 25,000, 30,000 publications. So when it hits it, it'll say, 25,000, just 1 A.
Dude, I swear to God, these people are so stupid. Trump misrepresented Alex and Sandy Hook, though, Jeremy. After he said Trump had dementia and Trump needed to have the 25th Amendment to remove him from office. You're going to cry because somebody went dirty on Trump and Trump responded, and you're going to cry? Get the fuck out of here, dude. Holy fuck, a bunch of pussies.
The article will be that. It's like every day, 10,000, 20,000, 18,000. Some days, 36,000. Every nightly news show. Remember, I'm the devil. I'm hurting families of dead kids. All that garbage. There was 300 plus million with off of charities saying I was victimizing the parent. I did none of it. No one pissed on their graves. No one came to their houses. No one did anything. It was just all made up. But they would say, he's the Sandy Hook guy peeing on graves. Trump runs him. It was to get Trump. So he comes out, as Mark Levin's already done. That's why I think Mark Levin wrote it, because it's word for what Mark's said in the last few months. This guy was terrorized the families of dead kids in Sandy Hook. He deserves to be off the air. He's a bankrupt deadbeat. And then I was reading him saying that last week, even a few days ago. I read this thing. It's Mark Levin, who's the main writer for Sean Hannity, and he writes a bunch of stuff for Trump. He's basically a speechwriter. He's on a terrorism task force for Trump.
I will say, and I will just continue to reiterate this, because I know we live in a world where people are like, oh, this person, I'm done with this person. I will never stop praising Alex Jones for a legendary run that gives me the opportunity to do what I do. And for everybody else that does this guy right here laid the foundation. He just did. And whether you want to be mad at him now, which again, I'm not happy with it, but this guy right here laid the foundation and was a pioneer. 100%.
It's not about me defending myself. It's like This was the Paul Weiss law firm that sued Trump that ran all this. This is the Democrat Party trying to get me off air and trying to demonize me to hurt Trump. And Trump picks up their weapon system, their propaganda, and uses it against me. It's not the issue that he even attacked me. That's a side issue. It's that he is literally pushing Democrat Party talking points via Mark Levin. And we know it's Mark Levin because it's word for word. I mean, I knew when I saw it yesterday. But I'm not going to go ape and just start attacking Trump here. Now, I don't think having Roger on saying nice things about him is going to make him be nice to me. I'm not like, oh, please don't hurt me. For me personally, it's good to break away from Trump because
Rush was a pioneer, not Alex. I mean, I think you can look at it in a couple different ways. Now, many of you probably are not professional wrestling fans, okay? But I am, at least old school wrestling. I think Rush Limbaugh is kind of like the Hulk Hogan or the Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I think that Alex is kind of like the Ric Flair. You know, because Ric Flair, back in the day when Hulk Hogan was selling out arenas worldwide and changing the game and transcending with huge numbers, Ric Flair was like grinding out in arenas, you know, local, you know, southern arenas that nobody was really paying attention to. And that's kind of what Alex Jones was kind of doing, you know, but Rush Limbaugh was kind of transcending everything and reaching a massive amount of people.
He's never helped me, any of that, but because he was better for the country, the Democrats, I just took it. But just like I didn't care about all the attacks, I don't care about CNN playing clips of me and MSNBC and all. What does that do? Nothing. They have tiny audiences.
Ric Flair was at the top of wrestling before Hulk Hogan, but apparently you don't know how to spell his name. So let's learn to respect and spell the man's name properly. If we're going to try and come correct at me, let's learn how to spell Nature's name correctly, sir. Okay? Respect Nate.
Being associated with them. But I have to tell the truth. So, you know, when you've had 20 million views on YouTube and everywhere else, and tens of billions on Facebook, and you've been syndicated since you were 25 years old. I mean, it's like, I am not trying to become famous. I'm not.
It's all good, man. I'm just messing with you.
Trying to get bigger. I'm trying to save the country and the world, because if Trump's recovery goes under, which the Strait of Hormuz is doing, we go into bankruptcy and the dollar loses its hegemony and we are all F-U-C-K. I am seriously understanding the dangerous history we're a part of right now.
Let me kind of pull this back, because listen, what I don't want to be is, I don't want to be one of these people that just cast out, you know, Alex Jones. It's easier to cast out Tucker and Megyn Kelly because of the history. And I know Alex has kind of been all over the place, but dude, Alex is the only guy that the dude has been through hell. He's been through hell. This man has been through holy fucking hell to get to this place. All right. And I just respect Alex Jones from that perspective. I just do. I don't like the path that he's taking. I don't like what he's saying. I think he is completely unhinged right now. But if anybody has earned the right to be unhinged, it's Alex fucking Jones. And the bottom line here is, I think what we've lost, if we have lost some perspective on something, and what is the central core of what has led us to this place recently? It is a foreign war in the Middle East, and that drives people crazy. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. Now, I think that Donald Trump has a plan. I believe Donald Trump has a plan. I trust Donald Trump to get done what needs to be done, as I've said consistently. Even if I don't love the fact that we're over there, I trust that Trump is going to do the right thing. Now, I think that whether right or wrong, I think it's fair to say that the messaging about what is going on in Iran has been a little bit sloppy from the Trump administration's perspective. Now, you can chalk that up to, well, he doesn't want to tip his hand. And I understand that. I'm not saying that he's wrong for that, but the messaging has been a little bit messy. Maybe that's, maybe that's the point behind it, is to hold our cards close. understandable. But when you are in a foreign conflict like this, and we have such a history with Middle Eastern conflicts, and you have all these questions, people are going to get worked up. They're going to have conversations, yada, yada, yada. I just think Alex is taking it way too far. I think that Megyn Kelly has proven that she is not authentic in anything she has ever done. I think Tucker is proving to be the same. I think that a lot of us were willing to overlook the text messages from Tucker Carlson back when he worked for Fox News when he said he hated Donald Trump. Those are confirmed. Tucker Carlson has admitted to it. He's kind of given a weird reason by it, and we all overlooked it a couple years ago. MAGA completely overlooked that. But yeah, I think that Alex, and I know Alex has said shit too, but Alex is Alex. This is who he is, man. He's always kind of out there. And a lot of it is performative. And I don't mean that in a negative sense. It's just that, you know, he knows how to get people talking. I think that Alex is genuinely bothered by the fact that Trump doesn't want to have anything to do with him publicly. Whether they have anything to do with each other privately, I don't know. But it's clear that Trump doesn't want anything to do with Alex publicly. And he has it for a long time.
And the dangerous time we're in. Don't have a normalcy bias about this. We're all in grave danger. But this morning, I had made the decision while I was lifting weights, so you get blood pumping, your brain's really working well. And hit the weights, do some aerobic moves. That's the workout we're doing this morning. I was pouring sweat. Nice 80-minute workout. And I said,
Trump is taking out China through proxy Iran. Yeah, I mean, I believe that. I do believe that this has a lot to do with China. I do understand that. I mean, I've talked about that. You look at the, Venezuela, you look at what's going on now with Iran, and I brought up the meme, I think memes are a very good way to kind of break things down. I brought this meme up that I think really does kind of articulating, holy fuck, I've got so many DMs on Twitter that I missed. I'm so sorry for all of you sending me all those memes, but this right here, this picture in particular, I think this is a very simple way to articulate what Trump is doing. And this puts it in very simplistic terms that he's really working on China and cutting the tentacles off, essentially. And why would he talk about this publicly in detail when you're going up against another superpower like China? You wouldn't talk about this in detail. You wouldn't give the media anything. You wouldn't want to tip your hand at all. So that lines up with why the messaging has been messy. This makes complete sense. What bothers me is that I'm an idiot or an IDOT, and I can understand this. If I, a retard, can understand this, so can Tucker Carlson, so can Megyn Kelly, so can Alex Jones, so can all of these other people. But they choose to actively work against Trump when he is trying to reset the entire world to benefit America. This is a very complicated game that Trump is playing right now. This is some shit that nobody else would do, but Trump is choosing to put himself in the fucking fire in order to reset the entire world. And this is what we brought him in here to do. This is part of making America great again. When people say, how is this benefiting America? Well, a lot of these TikTok kids, their minds have been reprogrammed. And this is what social media has done to so many people. It's rewired people's brains. People want instant return. They don't want anything to cook. They don't want to give anything time to work itself out. They want to go on Amazon and they want their shit delivered right now. They want to go on DoorDash and they want their food right now. They want to go on eBay and they want to buy shit right then. Nobody has patience for anything. Well, guess what? When you are literally battling the most powerful forces on planet Earth, it takes a little bit of time to work through all of that. You're not going to have your instant TikTok return. But what do you expect? We have a generation of kids that are being raised off Mr. Beast videos. So we're pretty fucked. Let's go back to Alex, though. Here we go.
I'm just going to scorch earth Trump to get him back on track. Only way to do it is to go after him viciously. Because, I mean, look, the Democrats are infinitely more corrupt than him, and he wasn't really corrupt the first term. The insider trading now, all the kids of the cabinet officials, it is just robbery town.
What are you talking about? His first term, he had a substantially worse cabinet the first term. Substantially worse. What are we talking about?
And I'm like, am I going to just sit here and wait for Todd Blanche to indict me for something? Am I going to just sit here and wait for Trump to attack me? But I'm like, well, I need him to get back on track. I need him to turn things around. But I'm also sitting here like, I'm not your average bear. Like, I know a lot. And I know right where to hit everything. And you're like, well, you have a responsibility to do that. Yeah, but it's like paltry compared to the big picture. And I've mentioned a lot of it. But I don't want to overthink it. But I'm just telling Trump something right now. The globalists sued my family, who wasn't even involved with me, and bankrupted them. I can take me being attacked. I've been through a lot of stuff. And if I see any inkling, with Mark Levin, everybody talking about me being deplatformed again, and you're calling for everybody's arrest, if I see any of that, and it's not like I'm saying this so they leave me alone. I'm on the verge of it, but there's so much, the Democrats are so much worse that I don't want to make my full-time show a war against Trump. But if here's the thing, you've already shit all over me.
This is the part that we did the cold opening on, and this is where it's going to get cringy. Nandy for 50 says reality is midterms is a virtual tie, and Iran is first priority. So I want honest reporting from Megan and Alex specifically on how it is progressing, not how we got here because of a war conflict. Can't change that now. This is what's in the best interest of the midterms. This right here, what you just said, is exactly what's in the best interest of the midterms. Not all of this other stuff. That right there. That's exactly what's in the best interest of the midterms. Agreed. John freaking Murdoch says, hey, Jeremy, not going to lie. The only time I pay attention to Alex Jones is when you show clips on your streams. Considering how far he's fallen off the reservation, I'm not missing anything. Hail IDOTS, hail 199, and happy Jessica. Thank you, John freaking Murdoch. I appreciate it. Incoherent Name says, I was a long time Alex Jones supporter, but advocating to coup the president during a war is too far for me. I don't resent him, and I hope he wins his lawsuits, but I am done taking him seriously as a political commentator. I hear you, man. I hear you. I mean, again, nothing will change my respect for what Alex Jones has done. It just won't happen. But like I said, I have a similar take on Adam Sandler movies, okay? I love Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore, all right? And all of those old school Adam Sandler movies. And he made some bad movies, and I'm like, I still love the guy, man. I love his movies. I don't care. And then he made Jack and Jill. And I'm like, this is kind of Alex Jones' Jack and Jill moment. I'm like, I don't know if I could justify Jack and Jill, okay? I don't know if I could justify that one, brother. That's a little too far, even for my standards on your movies. But with that said, I still love Adam Sandler.
And if you try to rub it in, I just, at that point, I don't care anymore. So if you think I've been coming after you, if you think that I'm trying to get clicks by attacking you so the Democrats that don't buy anything from me and don't like me want to put me in jail, if you think I've been on your ass, say one more thing. One more thing out of your mouth. And Laura Loomer, send him this, okay? One more thing. When I've gone through hell back in your ass because you were the lesser of two evils, then I'm going to show you how the cow ate the cabbage. Do one more thing. You should be kissing my ass. But instead, you shit all over me and rub it in. Okay. I'm a Christian, but I ain't Christ-like, okay? And I hate the Democrats, I hate the left, I hate the WF, I hate the globalists so much that I've sat here and put up with crap, you not defending me, you letting Todd Blanche kill the investigations of what the DOJ and CIA did to me and my family, and I just said, high road, don't really talk about it, I'll take it for the greater good. But there's only so far that I can take it. Go ahead, say one more thing about me. Go ahead and attack me one more time. Do it. And you'll find out.
Like I want to say something about this, but at the same time, sometimes there's nothing to say. He said it all. Like, I don't know there's nothing else for me to add that can be any better than what he just said himself. There's nothing else. Like, what am I going to say? And then that end right there, what he just ended on, is crazy.
One more thing about me. Go ahead and attack me one more time. Do it. And you'll find out. Because I know where to hit you. Leave me alone. I don't want to be at your Mar-a-Lago, your tuxedos, bunch of parrots posing. I'm not looking for government contracts. I've never asked for anything. Ed Martin contacted me and said incredible evidence of the government attacking you. They had all the proof. The DOJ funding the lawsuits, rigging it all.
So, Alex, if you do, in fact, have dirt on Trump, why have you been withholding that information from the American people? If, in fact, you have dirt on President Trump that is so damning and is so terrible, why have you not shared that with the American people? Why have you been allowing this man to be the savior of America, the president, the most legendary and historical figure of our lifetime? Why have you been withholding information that is so damning that it could destroy him?
And he's a great guy. And then Todd Blanche kills it and then calls me a kook and says I don't deserve to have my rights defended. And I'm in civil rights lawsuits. You know, that's fine. I didn't blame Trump. I just said, okay, I'll take it. But I will not take any more of your crap. I have taken your betrayals, your narcissism, the open kleptocratic insider trading that is just wholesale in your administration. I've mentioned it, but said, yeah, it's just par for the course now. But I'm not looking for a fight, but if you want one, you came to the right place. So I'm like a rattlesnake. They're not really aggressive snakes. Water moccasins come after you and bite you. Cobras come after you. I'm like rattlesnakes trying to get away. I'm like, hey, leave me alone. Hey, please don't step on me. God, that really hurts. Please stop. Oh, your daddy's over here. Let me step on your mommy. Let me step on your kids.
Alex, this is literally what you've been doing to Trump. Trump has not said a word about you. You have been going after him. You have been going after him nonstop. You have been crushing him. You have accused him of being compromised. You have accused him of having dementia. You have accused him of being controlled. You have called for him to be removed from office. So he is the rattlesnake. In this equation, Trump is the rattlesnake, not you.
And I'm just like, all right. I'm like Darth Vader looking at Emperor Palpatine, looking like Skywalker. I'm like, all right. I'm going to politically throw you down the reactor shaft in 2 seconds. And just, hey, does Alex Jones bluff? No, I don't. You think I'm intimidated by you, Trump, the president of the United States? Think I'm intimidated by your hit teams, all the rest of it? Whatever, man. You got God to deal with. I want to focus on the midterms, the Democrats. I want to promote what's good you're doing. And I want to be
that's literally what you should have been doing the whole time, but you haven't been focusing on the Democrats in the midterms. You've been focusing on Trump. Good Lord, man.
left alone. But if you let Laura Loomer and that Israeli operatives sit there and chew on me like I'm some chew toy, I'm done. Because you're an idiot. 2 inches. 2 inches. You think I've been attacking you for years? Buddy, I've been trying to defend you for years. So, I'm going to tell you one more time. Do not cross that line. Leave me alone. You ought to kiss. Jones would be on my side if I talked to him. I haven't tried to talk to you. I don't even return your phone calls, Trump. You know that. I didn't take your invites. I don't want to be around what you're involved in, buddy. I'm very pleased to announce 2 new great products at Whole Foods everywhere. I'm already in trouble being able.
Sad situation, but it's crazy because it does feel like there's a ton of projection where Alex is like, I'm sad because Trump has, he's done so much good and he's at this place. Like, that's how I feel about Alex Jones. Like, he's done so much good. He's done so much incredible stuff. And we're at this place now. It does make me genuinely sad. It really does. Like, I have nothing but respect for Alex Jones, but he is like, the stuff he's saying is crazy, bro. I mean, 6 months ago, and some people may not know this, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, whatever it was, maybe it was, time flies on the internet. So it may have been a year ago. I don't know. Maybe let's just call it 10 months ago. 10 months ago, Alex Jones was being attacked by the anti-Israel crowd for being an Israeli operative. If you're on the internet, and if you're on Twitter, you know that this was happening to him. They were going after him big fucking time. Like, massively. Just not less than a year ago, the people that are praising him were accusing him of being an Israeli operative. Now, he's their hero. It's crazy, man. Crazy, crazy indeed. Let me catch up on somebody's super chats. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. It's a crazy time. It's a crazy day. It's hard to filter through all of this bullshit, but here we are. Michael Williams says, if I was Trump, I would post one more thing. I am interested in how Trump is going to handle this. I am very interested. Mar Millen says, Rush was the pioneer during the days of radio. Alex followed his footsteps, and it was the online digital pioneer. Agreed. Again, man, much too often in this world, when we disagree with somebody, we want to just ignore everything they've done. And I'm sorry, I cannot do that with Alex Jones. I can't do it. Alex Jones is a freaking legend. And I will always respect what he's done. It doesn't mean that I am happy what he's doing now. But can't change what you can't eliminate the great things that the man has done. You just can't do it. Thank you, Mar Millen. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Chad says there's many things I love about Trump, probably, but the number one thing I love is Trump is he's taking that politically correct crap and shoving it up their rears. He's been doing that for 10 years now. Leighton Hallman says, I've watched Alex for many years and his family lost everything supporting Trump. Alex said his big fear is deep state goons will derail Trump with wars, letting Dems win, throwing them both in jail. Well, let's be fair. Alex lost everything in the Sandy Hook thing, not supporting Trump. And that happened in 2022. So, I mean, this narrative that Alex lost everything supporting Trump is not the truth. Alex lost everything in the Sandy Hook case. That's when he lost everything. Now, he definitely lost a lot by supporting Trump. So I'm not going to act like he didn't. But this narrative that he lost everything supporting Trump is just not true. He lost everything through the Sandy Hook case. John freaking Murdoch says, I feel like Trump is living rent-free in Alex Jones' head. It would appear so. JRL 1436 says, hi, Jeremy, hail the 199 and the Snake Pit. Your show always brings laughs, great laughs. Curious if you have checked out the music tournament I have sent. Have a blessed evening. I appreciate you continuing to ask, and don't think that you can't keep asking, but things have just been so crazy. I am just all over the place with trying to keep up with pop culture and politics and then play the gaming streams. So yeah, man, it is crazy right now. Normal Man says part of the problem with Alex Jones and Candace types is that their whole persona relies on being the man out on the outside. At this point, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I hear you on that. Zachary says, what's going on with Eric Swalwell? We're going to talk about that. Venti dropped a quartering disc video. Well, Brittany Venti was live last night. And yeah, she went ham. Dude, what the hell, man? Dude. Oh my God. Quartering just tweeted this out. Oh man. Oh no. Talk about tone deaf. Talk about like, what are we doing, bro? Oh man. Well, there you go with that. So, jeez. Jay, is it Jimothy says the casino is under attack. Yep. I covered that a little bit earlier tonight. Lord Butler says, how was your weekend, Jeremy? Damn it, dude. It's just so funny. It's just so funny. I know half of you don't get it. Half of you don't understand it. But just like, how was your weekend? It's so fucking funny. Pan Nelson says Gary is gonna be on with Alex Jones for the while. Oh, I'm sorry, AJ with the Y Files. Yeah, AJ with the Y Files. He's great. Y Files is awesome. CPP 1999 says, true, Jeremy. Twitter is a shit show. I learned on there today that one of my wide receivers, Dontavian Wicks, got traded to the Eagles. Go Pack, go! Hail the 199. It is a shit show for real. Godzilla's Egregious says, I know this is a political channel, but happy 67th birthday to my favorite living artist, Brian. Is it Setzer, the king of swing and the leader of the Stray Cats? Well, I still will. I don't consider D-Day, and thank you, I appreciate it. I don't consider D-Day Cobra a political channel. What I consider D-Day Cobra is my personal channel to talk about whatever I want to talk about. I have Geeks and Gamers, and I'm not going to talk direct politics on there. I have my gaming channel. I'm not going to talk direct politics over there. We have a sports channel. We have a theme park channel. We have all these channels that I'm not going to talk politics. So I will talk politics here because it's my only outlet to talk them directly. But it will evolve. Like, I will talk pop culture over here. I'll talk video games. I'll kind of talk about whatever, but it is dominated by the outlet that I can't. It's not that I can't talk about these things on my other channels, but I chose to build a framework on those channels, and I don't want to break the rules of what I created, if that makes sense, unless it applies to pop culture. So if like Mark Hamill whines about Trump, then yeah, I'm going to talk about it on Geeks and Gamers. You know what I mean? So Gregory says Hulk colors. That's right. Hulk Hogan colors. Steve from PA says, when did Brother Love and the Brooklyn Brawlers start the Kino Casino podcast? Jay Hamilton says, Jeremy, don't sell yourself short. You're the Chad of all Chads. Well, I appreciate it. It's not true, but I do appreciate it. John Jones says, someone give Alex Jones a Snickers. Aaron Alexander official says, I think tonight we need to bring back the beard of shame for the quarter flagger. I just can't believe he's doing this, man. I really can't. Phantasmus Knox says, have you seen Alex Jones crashing in on Twitter after Trump did that tweet naming people? Clearly. Yeah, we just covered that one. So yeah, it's been interesting. TJ says, Indiana Department of Transportation, IDOT. Norma Mann says, Tucker makes low IQ hat. Trump, congratulations, you played yourself. The Base Wizard says, that's a hat for Beardo. SGT Sergeant Laura, is that what this means? Jeremy, listener, over 5 years from G&G to the 199. Bro, keep it up. I'm retiring from the Army next Friday as a U.S. Southcom. If you're around, pull up. Let's go, man. Well, thank you for your service, first of all. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Jeremy will turn on Trump sooner than later. It's inevitable. Oh, it's done. Oh, yeah. Pull this up. Screenshot this for when Jeremy pulls the turn on Trump. You got me. It's over, guys. I'm done. I hope nobody sees that. So either I'm in a cult and I'll never disagree with Trump, or I will turn on Trump at some point. Which is it? I can't keep up. I can't keep up. I'm in a cult. I never disagree with Trump. Never criticized Trump. Never said a bad word about Trump. But he's going to turn on him real soon, guys. So which is it? Or do you mean Hambly? You got to say quarter pounder. You can't mean me because I'm Jeremy. I'm good Jer, according to the casino, okay? Storm Shadow says, these MAGA turncoats are like Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. Let's see. Either way, if you did mean me, this is a good way to weasel out of it after you got called out and says, oh, I'm at the quartering. Just say that. You're like, yeah, I'm at the quartering. Yeah, Jeremy, you just put me on blast for no reason. Damn it. You had your chance. D-Day Cobra's turned into a Trump cult. You just said I'm going to turn on Trump. You just said I'm going to turn on him. What the? You just said I'm going to turn on him. You love to see it. You love to see it. I can't keep up anymore. What I can keep up with is John freaking Murdoch. For 50 says, hey, Jeremy, how big of a super chat for you to pretend to give up on Trump for a week, for a day? Oh, for a day? Man, that's valuable real estate. That's valuable real estate. John, you don't have enough. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe you do, but I don't think you're going to have enough for that. I don't think you have enough money, John. I would love for you to prove me wrong, but I do not think you would have enough money for that one. I don't know. You can say try me and then I'll give you a number, but I don't think you're willing that I would. Maybe you are. Like, I don't know how rich you are, but I don't know. That's a lot. That's a lot. So Jeffrey Andrews says 10 years later and it's still funny. The glory of Rome is forever. Says Megan is just proving the old adage, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. She went from glazing to blood belching and at no time at all. Yes. The base was just Tucker and Megan are mainstream plants, just like Stephen A. Don Lemon tried and failed as well. Watch out for mainstream people that stream. Yes. And I've talked about this many times. I've talked about this a few times. And I've said that this is something, and I am the first person that I saw talk about this. I'm not saying I'm the first person that said it, but I am the first person that, highlighted that these mainstream people had basically overrun the independent media side. And I feel that they are still within the mainstream ecosphere. And I believe they're being funded by mainstream. And I believe that this is an op for the mainstream to hijack the independent media sphere. So, yeah, I believe it. I believe it. John freaking Murdoch for 10 says more than your price for the hair accessories. For me to turn on Trump for a full day, yeah, a little more than the last time you drug me into one of your bullshit situations that I'm very thankful for. I really appreciate that. But yeah, more than that. Dude, it's a full day of me streaming anti-Trump shit that's going to be used against me forever. Like, everybody's going to use this shit. So, like, okay, remember the I Love the Last Jedi clip? That was before I was even well known on YouTube, all right? I didn't have a big following, okay? I didn't have a big following, okay? So, back in the day, I was recording a video. I was in Houston, Texas at a hotel room. I was recording a video, and I was trying to compliment The Force Awakens, and I accidentally complimented The Last Jedi. I was talking about both of these movies, and I said, instead of saying I loved The Force Awakens, and I think it did a damn good job of what it needed to do for Star Wars, I said, I love The Last Jedi. I think it did a damn good job for what it needed to do for Star Wars. Okay, I made the video, didn't upload the video, okay? Sent the video to Josiah. Josiah Rises. Hail Josiah Rises. He was the editor at the time. I sent it and I said, hey, man, I misspoke right here. Can you please do this? Can you please, edit this out, blah, 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 and then I'll upload it to the YouTube channel. He goes, yeah, no problem. After we do it, after we upload it to the YouTube channel, I've got a whole breakdown. I've got the receipts to prove all of this on Geeks and Gamers. I've already done this 100 times. But he said, hey, since we got it uploaded now, is it cool if I put this in the Geeks and Gamers Facebook group and I use it to fuck with you? I was like, oh, yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah. Let's meme on it and everything like that. Okay. So he uploads that. Now you have to understand, at this time, I think Geeks and Gamers had like maybe 15,000 subscribers. Okay. So nobody cared about me. Nobody was talking about me. I was just a random asshole on the internet. So we upload that video. It did okay, whatever. Years later, as the channel starts growing and I become like the #1 like Disney Star Wars hater and I'm criticizing Disney and all of that, all of a sudden on Reddit, this clip of me saying I love The Last Jedi starts going viral on Reddit. And all of these Disney Star Wars fans start running with this. They're like, we got him. He admitted that he loved The Last Jedi. He admits it right here. And I'm like, oh my God. It was like, it had like 100,000 upvotes. It was crazy. And then so like I made another video laughing about it, but like to this day, they still use that shit against me. Now, to be fair, when I found out about it, I did a whole video where I was praising Ryan Johnson, praising Kathleen Kennedy, praising everything that I hate. I did a whole video praising all of that shit. And I'm like, clip me out, use it against me. I don't care. That's a long version of me saying, John, that will be a lot. That will be a lot of shit. All right. So for me to deal with. While it would be funny, I couldn't do that to you. I appreciate it, John. Thank you so much. Graham Robbins for 10 says Jeremy, Alex, Megan, etc. Literally think that they are so important as to keep in the loop with regards to Trump's chess moves against China, and they hate that Trump won't share his plans and give them content. Yeah, sad but true. Smurf says, grifter tags, keep up the great work, you fig. Hail the Snake Pit, hail the 199, hail to the IDOT Brigade. Keep crushing like an absolute legend. Thank you. I appreciate it. Steven says, proud IDOT for so many months. Thank you. 8 o'clock says, to that Trump clip when you ask your uncle how his ex is doing. John Jones says, Hans Zimmer crash out is hilarious because he did the soundtrack for Vance's movie. Did he? That is funny. I didn't even know that. Interesting. Twisted Clown says, R.I.P. Mossad Alex. The Base Wizard says, Alex Jones, stop picking on me. Lol, loser. Sad but true. Okay, we got more to talk about. We got some more that we're going to get into because today has been a very, very busy day. I do have this Benny Johnson video pulled up because I'm a little behind on the Eric Swalwell story. So we're going to react to this Eric Swalwell story right here. He's in big trouble.
Pride cometh before destructions, and the weapons you form shall be used against you. Whoa, some old-time biblical justice happening right now to Eric Swalwell. Remember Eric Swalwell? He's the California congressman, very low IQ, somebody who slept with a Chinese spy, Fang Fang with the bang bang. Then she fled the country. Eric Swalwell didn't get punished for that. Instead, he got promoted. He ran for president, and now he is the top contender for governor of California for the Democrats, except for his political career just got destroyed because of his own actions. And this is a very, very bad one. Let's go back just a few short years when Eric Swalwell was pushing the Russia hoax, collusion, conspiracy, and also the...
So this is back when apparently Trump was controlled by Russia. Again, I've kind of broken this down several times where, you know, Trump was essentially controlled by Russia in his first term, and then Israel swooped in there when Trump became a free agent because Israel couldn't sign Trump in 2016 because of a salary cap hit. So they were over on their salary cap, but Israel knew that they wouldn't be able to re-sign Trump directly after, 2020. So they rigged the election, had a assassination attempt on Trump, had him arrested. That really elevated his stock in some people's eyes, but in other people's eyes, it hurt his stock. And so Israel swooped in when many people were thinking he'd be arrested, signed him to a 4-year deal. Boom. Good job, Israel.
The Brett Kavanaugh conspiracy, when the left trotted out a bunch of dingbats to say that Brett Kavanaugh did naughty things to them. None of it was true, but boy, did Eric Swalwell ever believe it. Instead, in fact, he declared that we must believe all women.
For Brett Kavanaugh's sake, if he is innocent, I hope tomorrow he opens his statement and says, you know what? Bring in all the victims, allow them to be heard, allow them to be questioned. Okay. That will clear his name if he's indeed innocent. And if he's not, for the sake of the credibility of the court, I hope that the senators would vote against him.
So you got to bring in all the witnesses, you got to bring in all of the victims, and you got to call them victims, even though they're not, even though the stories are made up. And we got to hear them. That's what Eric Swalwell said. Eric Swalwell says, believe survivors. Believe them. We are with you. Hands off. But Eric Swalwell wasn't hands off with his own staffers. It's always the people you most expect, right? Staffer says, Eric Swalwell, candidate for California governor, sexually assaulted her. Are we to believe her, Eric? Are we supposed to if you have nothing to hide, shouldn't we be able to talk with her? Why are you sending out so many NDAs, Eric? This is the bombshell story, ladies and gentlemen, just broke in the San Francisco Chronicle. Let's read. A woman who worked for nearly 2 years with Representative Eric Swalwell, leading candidate for California governor, said she had sexual encounters with him.
Oh, we got a video directly from him. He just uploaded a video. Eric Swalwell just uploaded a video right here. He literally just did it. Hear it directly from me. These allegations are flat false, and I will fight them. Hold on, Eric Swalwell. I'm pretty sure you said to believe all women, right? Isn't that the Democratic talking point, to believe all women? I'm supposed to believe all women, right? How dare you tell me I'm not supposed to believe victims? Believe victims. Believe their stories. Listen to their stories. You toxic men, you can't question a woman. If a woman says that she was mistreated, we have to believe all women.
A lot has been said about me today through anonymous allegations. I thought it was important that you see and hear from me directly. These allegations of sexual assault are flat false. They are absolutely false. They did not happen. They have never happened. And I will fight them with everything that I have. They also come on the eve of an election where I have been the frontrunner candidate for governor in California. I do not suggest to you in any way that I'm perfect or that I'm a saint. I have certainly made mistakes in judgment in my past, but those mistakes are between me and my wife. And to her, I apologize deeply for putting her in this position.
I'm waiting for
I also apologize to you if in any way you've doubted your support for me. But I think you know who I am. For over 20 years, I have served the public as a city councilman, as a member of Congress, and as a prosecutor who went to court on behalf of victims, particularly on behalf of sexual assault victims. That's who I am and have always been. This weekend, I'm going to spend time with my family and friends.
Oh, God.
And I appreciate those who have reached out to me to show support. And I look forward to updating you very soon.
Oh, man. So there you have it. Eric Swalwell. Mr. Believe All Women doesn't want you to believe women. It's interesting how Democrats are always about the virtue signal until, of course, they get caught up in the same type of drama. Amazing. Welcome to the Democratic Party, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Right here. Anna Paulina Luna demands that Eric Swalwell resign from the House of Representatives after a new essay allegation. There it is. I think I agree with Anna Paulina Luna. There you have it right there. Well, I guess we'll see what happens. To believe all women. That's what we were told. So guess we'll have to do that, right? Nandy for 50 says if Vance can get a deal done this weekend, or at the very least have a framework for a deal set, he would have taken over Rubio as GOP candidate. Rubio has done a lot more than Vance and is in the news more. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that Rubio's done a great job. I think Rubio, and maybe it's the expectations or whatever, but ultimately, I like what Rubio's done, but I also had very, very low expectations for Rubio because I didn't like Rubio, and he's done a wonderful job under President Trump as Secretary of State. I think that he's benefiting from just being in the limelight more. I think Vance is the guy. I think Vance is 100% the guy moving forward at this point in time. Again, if you have another name, feel free to share it with me of somebody that can take over after Trump, but I don't know who that would be. So we'll see what happens. Marmillan says he slept with a Chinese spy, yet somehow he is still allowed in office. Please make it make sense. I know, right? Thank you, Marmillan. Summer of Doom says, damn it, I used to love me some Alex Jones. Yeah, I hear you on that. Let's see. Hang on. Let's see. Trying to. All right. Let's see. Phil says, imagine threatening a man who you said was going to eliminate 90 million just because, Alex, you've lost the plot. You're bald. Yeah, I mean, that's true. That is true. So a couple days ago, President Trump, according to Alex Jones and Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson, was going to murder 90 million people. Now today, Alex is like, you say one more word. You say one more word. It's like, you just said he was going to kill 90 million people. What are you talking? You're going to threaten that guy to say one more word? 2 days ago, he was going to drop a bomb on 90 million people. This makes no sense. None of this shit makes sense. Fantastic Knox says Alex Jones after he hits first and Trump hits back. Stop attacking me. 2026 has been stupidly wild, and this month has been a wild ride. It really has. I mean, let's be real. The world is crazy primarily, and I hate to say this because it's going to sound negative, but it's just the truth. Everything is crazy because of Donald Trump. And it's not because of him per se. It's because his presence makes people lose their fucking mind. And it's even unintentional from his perspective. He's not trying to make people lose their shit. He just has this incredible ability to break people's brains like nobody in my lifetime has ever been able to do. His presence takes up so much oxygen and so much. He has so much presence. It's incredible. We will never, ever, ever witness anything like Trump again. And I bring that up a lot. here we are, man. Like, be thankful for him, because it's never going to fucking happen again. You know, oftentimes we always look back on like, oh, the 80s were great. Oh, the 90s were great. Oh, remember when Michael Jordan was in the NBA? That'll never happen again. Oh, remember when this happened? That'll never happen again. Never going to have Trump again. There will never be another person in our lifetime that will be, you know, as impactful, that will turn the needle like this guy. Site team says Delta Force going to help Alex back on the wagon. Alaska Max says kicks hornet's nest. I'm being attacked. Yes. Polish Prince says, whoa, buddy. Debase Wizard says, Jeremy, Alex thinks there are lizard people. I mean, have you seen Mark Zuckerberg? You know? Let's see. Phil says, did Alex drink the same water as the frogs? Miniature Von Thing says, notice Alex giving himself off ramps back to Trump. Mike Hill says, Hans Zimmer goes on an anti-Trump rant during one of his concerts. Yeah, I talked about that a little bit earlier. Gerald Armstrong says, Trump endorsed Lindsey Graham today. That's not surprising. Ray says, we better not see Alex Jones on The View. Fucking hell, dude. Honestly, I really want to see this shit. I want to see Alex Jones on The View. Fuck me sideways. That would be amazing, dude. Holy crap. If we get Alex Jones on The View, that might be the greatest thing I've ever seen. Holy shit. Tay-Tay says, did you scan in yet? Hail to the snake pit. Thank you, Tay-Tay. Appreciate that. Little Jim Zalo says, looks like Eric Swalwell career took a big hit, big time. Summer of Doom says, Colt 199. Let's go. Ministry of Von Thing says, you see Benny's apology video? I saw his sarcastic apology video. I did see that. Jay Fraser says, hail to 199. Jeremy, my recommended Razor Fist video seems to be on point. These right-wing fence sitters, Panikins, Israel, Figs, never Trumpers. You, sir, were on point. I did watch the video, and it is a fantastic video. I just didn't get a chance to watch it on stream. Miniature Ron thinks says Trump bluffed against Iran in a game of poker while all the Panikins and leftists screamed, he's got a full flush. He's going to do it. They're all too dumb to realize he uses freakouts to his advantage. He absolutely does this better than any person. Saturn Dreaming of Mercury says, how do people like Jones, Tucker, and Megyn not know about Trump curse at this point? That's the thing, man, is like, it doesn't matter. You could tell these people whatever. You could tell them whatever you want. But once you're kind of wrapped up in this Trump derangement syndrome world, you can't get out of it. It really is amazing. Like, I'll give Glenn Beck a lot of credit. Glenn Beck had TDS a long time ago. And he managed to, once he got out of that, Glenn Beck has not allowed himself to get pulled back into that. He's one of the few people. He's one of the few people that I've seen do that. Not many, but let's see here. Hang on. What is this right here?
With Iran, including the Strait of Hormuz. And
so the title is Iran accused of playing games as vessels. So it's a defying Trump. Let's see. I'm not caught up on this right now with the stuff in Iran.
In Lebanon. Senior correspondent Mike Tobin is in Tel Aviv with that tonight.
With ships at anchor, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard spokesman posted, we will keep the Strait of Hormuz closed. This after Israeli intelligence.
Maybe it's me, but I don't believe anything that anybody in Iran says. I don't believe a word from their government, their military, their leadership, their spokespeople, their media. I don't believe anything that they say. I don't believe a word of it.
Intelligence told Fox News Iran has been charging ships to transit the pivotal waterway, motivating President Trump's warning they better stop now. No one has seen Mojtaba Khamenei since he became supreme leader of Iran, but a statement purporting to be from him was read.
Like, I don't even believe this guy's alive. I don't even believe this man's alive. I believe that they are floating the idea of him to keep the control of their people.
State-run media claiming control of the strait.
We did not and do not seek war, but we will not give up our rightful rights.
Iran's demand for a ceasefire in Lebanon is not being met. Israel claimed today to have destroyed 200 rocket launchers and 1,300 launch tubes used by Hezbollah to fire rockets into Israel. Israel insists the offensive into Lebanon is separate from the ceasefire. The chief of general staff told the troops in South Lebanon the Jewish state will press on.
In Lebanon, we continue to deepen our achievements, and we are continuing to deepen our maneuver.
Meanwhile, large demonstrations forming in the region range from opposition to the peace talks between Israel and Lebanon to Iran-backed Houthis claiming victory over the United States. With 50,000 U.S. forces on standby to re-engage, negotiators en route to Islamabad, and a ceasefire already showing cracks, skepticism about any peace deal remains high.
This is what the Iranians do. They are masters at obfuscation and delaying negotiations.
Meeting Iran's precondition of a ceasefire in Lebanon is going to be a tall order. Hezbollah fired some 60 rockets into Israel today. Brett?
Mike Tobin live in Tel Aviv. Mike, thanks. Stocks were first. A final countdown to the high-stakes Iran negotiations scheduled for tomorrow in Pakistan. Vice President J.D. Vance leads the American delegation.
Who's that? Vice President J.D. Vance? Who is that?
Meantime, President Trump says the military is ready if talks go south. Senior White House correspondent Jackie Heinrich starts us off tonight live from the North Lawn. Good evening, Jackie.
Good evening, Brett. President Trump just wished luck to his vice president envoy Steve Witkoff and son-in-law Jared Kushner ahead of their high-wire act of diplomacy ahead of these talks in Islamabad this weekend. He just laid out two benchmarks, telling reporters that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon and the U.S. will not let Iran control the Strait of Hormuz.
What would a good deal look like for you? No nuclear weapon, number one.
Vice President J.D. Vance hopeful talks in Islamabad will bear fruit.
I think it's going to be positive. If the Iranians are willing to negotiate in good faith, we're certainly willing to extend the open hand. If they're going to try to play us, then they're going to find that the negotiating team is not that receptive.
President Trump readying the backup plan, telling the New York Post, we're loading up the ships with the best ammunition, the best weapons ever made. And if we don't have a deal, we will be using them. We will be using them
The best. We have the best ammunition. We have the best weapons.
very effectively. Ahead of the talks, one of the Iranian negotiators in a possible attempt to move the goalposts, saying two of the measures mutually agreed upon between the parties have yet to be implemented, a ceasefire in Lebanon and the release of Iran's blocked assets prior to the commencement of negotiations. Although Trump personally facilitated Iran's demand that the ceasefire apply to Israel's strikes in Lebanon, there's been no public discussion of releasing Iranian assets as a condition to sit down. Trump posting today to Truth Social, the Iranians don't seem to realize they have no cards other than a short-term extortion of the world by using international waterways. The only reason they're alive.
So we'll get a little more caught up on. I'm gonna let this play for another minute or two, but I got a clip from Steven Crowder that I want to play where he's talking about this situation with President Trump and Iran.
Today is to negotiate. Analysts are warning not to get bogged down in talks that go nowhere quickly.
The longer there is lower oil prices, the lower there's less economic pain, the longer there's less political pressure, it makes it that much tougher in their minds for the administration to go back and finish the job militarily. That, I believe, is really their strategy.
As Republicans resist calls from across the aisle to throttle the president via the War Powers Act.
The president has 60 days. After the 60 days, I think Congress does need to have a much stronger discussion about what happens next, because members of Congress from both parties do not want to see this war continue.
Meantime, the administration is trying to quiet concern about economic impacts with the strait still closed, saying both their economists and futures markets predict a rapid decline in energy costs once the strait gets back to normal. Right now, ships are moving through at about 10% of the normal pace, Brett.
Jackie Heinrich live on the North Lawn. Jackie, thanks. Please join Jackie this Sunday for the Sunday briefing, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Her guests include Israeli Ambassador to the United Nations, Danny Danon, And
okay, so let's go to this clip right here. So Steven Crowder with Piers Morgan. Let's hear. I have not heard this clip, so I had it bookmarked. So we're going to check this out and see what Crowder has to say.
Are you comfortable with that kind of language from the President of the United States, from the guy sitting in the Oval Office, publicly?
Well, which part of it? Which part of it? If we're talking naughty words, I don't care. I didn't elect Donald Trump because I thought he was a pastor. I didn't vote for him because I think even necessarily that he's a devout Christian. I thought it was trolling. I actually laughed pretty hard at the praise be to Allah. I do think it was ill-advised to say whole civilization. And the reason why is because you see a lot of people, and this is again about applying it equally. Donald Trump has done a pretty good job, and certainly Marco Rubio, in delineating between the Iranian people and the regime. I think we probably agree there are very few governments, if any, that are in more diametric opposition to the people they govern than the IRGC and the Iranian people. I mean, we don't get very accurate polling out of theirs.
Why can't I stop watching you for $20? I don't know, but I appreciate it. I don't know why anyone watches me, to be fair. And I am thankful every time I turn the camera on and there's anybody that shows up. Maybe, and again, you will not believe me, but I truly do. Like every time I fire up a stream, I'm like, will anybody watch this show? Will anybody show up in the chat? And then usually Mar Millen drops the pre-stream chat grift tax. And I'm like, all right, we're going to do okay. We're going to do okay every time. But thank you. I do appreciate it. You have no idea how much.
You tend to not get out of the Islamic world. The overwhelming majority of the Iranian people support the help, support the military intervention. Doesn't mean that it's our job, to be clear. That's a conversation to have stateside, domestically. But separating between the regime and the people is important. Donald Trump has done that consistently. He didn't do that with his phrase here. I definitely think that did him no favors. On the flip side, when I see people saying World War III, and I see people saying, he's killing innocent civilians, we're bombing brown people, we're killing Iranians, I go, well, hold on a second. You guys never delineate between the IRGC and the Iranian people. I also think that it's undergirded by the fact that if remarkably inconsistent and ill-advised, he did say, God bless the Iranian people in that same post,
Yes.
which would seem to clarify and be consistent.
I have to mention this because I mention this every time. Steven Crowder continues to prove me wrong because I was always like, I was not a Crowder guy. I've never was a Crowder guy. I always felt that his comedy was cringy and I just didn't like him. I was wrong. Crowder, no, I wasn't wrong about his comedy. His comedy sucks. But in terms of the most level-headed guy with the biggest following or one of these big guys, it's him. Crowder is the guy.
With what he just said 12 hours earlier, right? People were offended. Keep in mind, 12 hours earlier, they said, do you think this is a war crime? And I think it's no, because they're animals and they killed 40. The number always goes up. Maybe 60, maybe 120,000 of their old people. Wow, they're animals. People said, I can't believe he would say that. But he did say, no, targeting military sites, targeting strategic infrastructure to do away with a totalitarian, and I would argue evil, satanic regime, the IRGC, is not a war crime because the people want it and support it.
But
Doesn't mean that it's
so Stephen, where does
legitimate.
it sit with, Trump, obviously the campaigner in 2024 was absolutely emphatic. I will not drag America into any more senseless wars, particularly in the Middle East. And here he is dragging
Senseless
America
war.
into
Senseless
the biggest
war.
Middle Eastern war he could possibly have dragged them into. Tucker Carlson has been blistering in his attack on it. Megyn Kelly has been blistering. You've got all these people on the right, Marjorie Taylor Greene. There's a real split on the conservative right in America. And it's really bubbled up and boiled over with the Iran war. Why do you think that is? Why? I mean, if you go back 20, 30 years, there would have been complete unanimity about a Republican strike of this nature.
Again, I'm not going to play the whole clip, but let me just remind all of you, 1980.
Sits back and allows a country such as Iran to hold our hostages, to my way of thinking, is a horror.
Obviously, you're advocating that we should have gone in there with troops, etc., and brought our boys out.
I absolutely feel that, yes. I don't think there's any question, and there's no question in my mind I think right now would be an oil-rich nation, and I believe that we should have done it, and I'm very disappointed that we didn't do it.
Why couldn't we go in and take over some of their oil, which is along the sea?
And so this just continues on through the years, 1988, 2011, 2016, 2017, to 2020, 2024, like 2025, 2026. This is who Donald Trump is. He is consistent. He's always been consistent. And you can cry, you can whine, but he's always been consistent.
There'd have been no split. But there's a real split here ideologically between what people believe they thought they were voting for and what they think they're getting from Trump.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's as big of a split with the voter as there are commentators. For example, my perspective has been I supported the strike on the enrichment facility. And I said, give this 3 months. And then I'll have to reassess it because I know there's information that I cannot have on Iran as it pertains to national security. I would say that would be due largely to their own ignorance, because anyone who thinks that Donald Trump has been anything other than consistent, going back to the 1980s, which is kind of a marvel, the only reason we're able to have this long of a consistent track record for any president is because he was a celebrity. He's always said Iran cannot have a nuke. They will never have a nuke. That was what he said that day of that famous escalator ride. It was part and parcel of that speech. So anyone who thinks that Donald Trump being tough on Iran is a betrayal is simply uneducated and didn't listen to him. And you could also argue, and I think there are two reasonable sides on this issue. I don't think war criminal. I don't think genocide is one of them. You could argue that he's ending a 47-year war, and it's right in line with his promises. When I hear people say, why would we strike Iran? They've never done anything to us. You hear that a lot. Many, many, many Americans, hundreds, if not over 1,000, depending on the numbers, and they've pledged to kill many more. It comes down to that discussion and when you want to deal with this issue.
Crowder on point. He is so on point, and I give him nothing but major respect through all of this. You know, there's off the top of my head, the people that have major kind of followings: Crowder, Salty Cracker, Matt Morris. Who else is not getting into the weeds of like the Israel shit? Like there's not many, but like there's a few of these guys that just will not turn on Trump. You know what I mean? Those are the guys at the top of my head right there that just won't do it. And so, but yeah, Crowder's awesome. Barry Cunningham. I haven't watched Barry Cunningham in a while, but I do like Barry Cunningham from back in the day. Of course, Razor Fist. Yes. Mark Dice. I like Mark Dice, but Mark Dice does lean into the Israel stuff a lot. But it's in a less annoying way than many others for sure. So, Bill Herb says, I just pooped my pants at Walmart. Anyway, guys, how was your weekend? It's so fun. Black conservative perspective. I would love to hear his take on some of this stuff. I have not heard a lot of his takes on this. I'm a huge fan of Greg. But I haven't really seen a lot of his coverage on this. So let me see what he's had to say recently. So many people are just not understanding the quartering memes. It's so fucking good. Let's see. So he's probably staying out of the podcast wars. Looks like it. I don't see him covering the podcast wars too much, which is a smart move. Let's see. Yeah, Swalwell. Yeah, I don't really see a lot from him on the podcast wars. Smart move for sure. So, let's see. He's covering domestic stuff mostly. Yeah, and he's good at it, man. He does a great job. So big shout out to him. Let's see where we're at. Miniature Rome thinks says the IRGC's mosaic in utter chaos right now. Their decentralized military contingency is being used against them. They don't know who is in charge, hence mixed messages, bloody infighting happening. Yeah, to think that any of Iran is winning this is crazy. but there's people out there that'll tell you that. Tucker the other day said Iran is winning. That's what he said. Tay with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Heel refs for a new membership. Thank you for becoming a new member. Greatly appreciated. All the Mo Kisses says 8 months of entertainment. Thanks for streaming tonight. Thank you for being here. Andrew 32 says Rattlesnake, more like when Will Sasso imitated Stone Cold. That was legendary. Waffle Master says Joe Rogan pussy, not even once. Good old Alex Jones quotes. Well, whatever says Alex Jones is using the left's Marxist tactics, claiming to be a victim. It's sad, man. It is. Real Stream Hero says, saw this story earlier, tried to follow it, but I've reached the age where if someone has an obnoxious voice, I just can't tolerate it even for 5 seconds. Regardless, F the quartering. Hope they get their channels back. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of traction over there. I know a lot of you have come in the chat and was telling me about Casino. I did retweet them. I covered it at the beginning of the show. So 100% covered, and want to make sure we highlight all of that. So there was one clip that I saw. Raggedy Man, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. Hail to the gifties. The gifted membership is greatly appreciated. The chat loves it. Right here. Oh, man. Okay, right here. So I've been seeing a lot of people, and this just kind of shows you, like, it truly is kind of disgusting, but, like, listen, we lost Charlie Kirk like 7 months ago. It's truly one of the saddest things that I've seen. It really is. But people are now saying that if Charlie Kirk were still alive, that Trump would have thrown him under the bus too. I think that's disgusting. I think that's ridiculous. I think that's horrible. And I think that, I saw this clip right here. If he hadn't been murdered by a radical leftist, Charlie wouldn't have turned on President Trump. This clip proves it. I haven't heard the clip, so let's listen to it.
Everybody, this is not normal. And for all the people that were doubting President Trump, we never wavered on this program. And I want to even say more importantly, for those of you that never wavered, good on you. For those of you that trusted President Trump, for those of you that knew that President Trump had the wisdom and he had the experience and he had the wherewithal, God bless you, because you understood exactly the high stakes situation here. And remember, we went through the list when President Trump struck Syria, no endless war. President Trump took out Soleimani, no endless war. President Trump took out ISIS, no endless war. In fact, I could even say this was not even a war. And all these people that were attacking President Trump and so viciously attacking them, you were wrong. Let me say this again. You were wrong. And by the way, you should also just say, I was wrong. It's okay to be wrong in life. But you know what's not okay? It's not okay to lie to your audience, act as if you had President Trump's back this entire time. And Jack, you remember, you and I were texting yesterday. I want to throw to Andrew. Jack, remember, I was defending President Trump yesterday on X. And people were saying, whoa, 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 it's a little hot there, Charlie. The tide is turning against Trump. I said, no. Remember that, Jack? You and I were texting. I said, I'm going all in. Yep. We're defending this guy. This guy, and now 24 hours later, the people that were honestly so flimsy against President Trump. I'm getting really fired up here. And Andrew, you could tell. Andrew, you and I were talking about this, that on X and some social channels, people had no trust in President Trump. What else does President Trump have to do to win your trust over? He ended the India-Pakistan war. President Trump has secured the southern border completely. We have inflation going down. We're about to pass the big, beautiful bill. And now President Trump is ending Israel-Iran war while no nuclear weapons. Andrew, I would think at this point, President Trump has overwhelmingly earned your trust. Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, everybody.
Yeah, Charlie was never going to turn on President Trump. Okay, it was never going to happen. So, and yeah, but that's a narrative that they are trying to push, where they're just like, yeah, he's definitely gonna, Trump. He would have definitely turned on Trump. No, he would not have. And I think it's disgusting to even use Charlie from that perspective. And it does kind of like, I don't know, man. It makes me sad to even talk about Charlie Kirk, just because of what has happened. And I recently, this is an interesting point here. Let me pull this up. Let me show you something really quick. And this is not to, this is about as real as I could be on this topic here. I mentioned a while back that I struggle with something, that I struggle with this thing with Charlie Kirk's passing because of something that happened. And it's because there was, you can say a lot of things about a lot of people, but Charlie Kirk was, generally a good person. He was generally a good human being by all accounts. And his life proved that, his family, all of that. And he was taken at a young age. And the thing that makes me so sad is how his family has been treated with his passing. Because the worst thing you can do to a man is to take his ability away to protect his family. It's the worst thing you can do. And it's awful to know that this man who had this family, who built this amazing company and this amazing organization, and who had the president of the United States on speed dial and had all these connections and all of these resources, it's sad to know that he's in heaven right now and he sees his family being treated like this and he has no power to do it. And I struggle with that, of understanding, how does that work? How does it work that this man is in heaven and he's looking down on his family and he can't do anything about the horrific attacks that they're going through? And I'd say this to bring it up, that I definitely struggled with that. Now, I saw a video literally yesterday for the first time that blew my mind. And if any of you, and I would say there's massive spoilers for my favorite movie, which is Interstellar. There's massive spoilers in this video, but this opened my eyes to something incredible. The video right here is called Interstellar is Not About Space, It's About God. I thought it was a joke when I saw it. I thought this was a joke. There's like, what are you talking about? We're not going to watch the video, but it showed me how God has access to us, but he doesn't have the direct authority to impact our free will because of the world he's created. It's absolutely crazy. Now, regardless if you agree with Interstellar being about God or not is irrelevant. Some of you will, some of you won't. But it conceptualizes and it breaks it down for me to understand why. Because the number one question you get from people is, if God is real, why does he let bad things happen? If God is real, why does he let children starve? Why does he let wars happen? Why does he let Charlie Kirk get killed? This right here 100% answers that question from that perspective. Watch the video, make up your own mind from it, but forget Interstellar. But you need to watch the movie to understand what the person in the video is saying. Forget the movie and understand the point he's trying to make about God and why he doesn't interfere with the world he created. It's absolutely fantastic to understand that. Because there's a scene in the movie where there's a father who has access to his kid's timeline, but he can't directly interfere with that kid's timeline, even though he has access to it. And it breaks that down very, very good. So anyway, with the Charlie Kirk stuff, though, that's been something that's just been bothering me, because Charlie Kirk, I don't know how he's happy in heaven watching his family get treated like they're being treated, but I'm sure he is. But that's just been a struggle of mine to see that this man who was taken from us in such a tragic way, watching his family get completely run over constantly, it has to be tough. And it's disgusting. And anybody that's leaning into that stuff, like, yeah, a joke here, whatever. I'm not talking about even the Drewski thing. Like, that's a joke, okay? I'm talking about the downright evil shit that people are saying about his wife and his kids and his friends. It's sick. And it drives me crazy to watch it. And to be connected to those evil people in any way is, I don't understand how you could do that. I don't understand it. It's awful. Rest in peace of Charlie Kirk. Big time rest in peace of Charlie Kirk. It's awful. And yeah, I wasn't a fan of Charlie. I didn't watch Charlie consistently. I was not a fan. But you look back on his life and everything that he stood for, and it's impossible to not appreciate and respect this guy big time. And there was a clip right here that I wanted to show because I think it was Jack Posobiec put this tweet out. So it's been like 7 months with Charlie Kirk since he passed. Here it is. Yeah. 7 months. 7 months today, right here. 7 months. But
that breathe, that have reason,
but,
that believe that what I can't believe there's
this is his strongest point right here.
There's people that exist, that breathe, that have reason, that believe that Whataburger is better than In-N-Out. It's a very serious problem. I've met one of these people before. It's Jack Posobiec. Lost total respect for him on this topic and other things because of this. It's really amazing. It's an institution.
Charlie was right. In-N-Out Burger is an institution, and it is better than Whataburger. It just is. Okay? It just is. Charlie Kirk was right. 100%. Rest in peace, man. It's so awful that he's no longer here. Slain Hope says, Jeremy's eyes are blinded by sobriety. That is true. That is true. I do not drink. I do not smoke. I do not do drugs, and I never will. Never will. Udaman says, if you heel turn on Trump, you have to dress up as Bully McGuire. Well, that's a reason to do it, to be fair. I mean, that sounds awesome. That kind of sounds awesome. Let's see. Tay with those 5 get the memberships. Thank you. Nima says, big red button 2, Iranian Boogaloo. Thank you. Hippie Big Shot says, you are most ones that are part of the ICE. I was like, what the hell are you trying to say? I had no idea. You're quoting Jesse Ventura. You completely threw me off on that one, man. I was like, what is this idiot? I was about to roast you. And then I got to show the people now. The ICE people. The ICE people. Here we go right here. Okay, so this is the meme, all right?
Because I don't know about you, Paul, but I'm still not over January 6th. That was treason. All of the people should have been arrested and put in prison all the way to Trump because he and Giuliani and all them orchestrated the whole thing. And he tried to violate the Constitution, win the election the way he did with violence and everything else. And now, and I've heard this, you know, all the people he pardoned for January 6th, I hear they're the most ones that are part of the ICE. And I've heard this, you know, all the people he pardoned for January 6th, I hear they're the most ones that are part of the ICE. That they're the ICE people now. They did do the Capitol, and now they've turned them loose on all our cities. Because isn't the behavior pretty much the same? What you saw happen January 6th at the Capitol and to what you're seeing on the streets of Minneapolis?
Oh, shit, man. That's fucking great right there. Good Lord. War Wizard says, rather watch you any day over a flag. It. Soldier On becomes a new member. Thank you. Raggedy Man, those 5 get the memberships. Thank you. Rob says, Candace Owens is like a scorned ex-lover that can never get closure. Alex Jones is acting like he is back on the sauce. Megan is acting like she's losing her looks. Tucker has lost his mind. Sad. It is wild, man. Wild times indeed. JDT199 says, there's this one Jeremy Prime guy that is kind of decent. Thank you. Bill Herb says, I don't hate the quartering, just needs to get out of his own way. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate the quartering either, but I do the way he misrepresented me and the things that I was saying was an eye opener, because he had responded to me over some stuff. And I remember when I made the video about him saying my channel was dead, and I essentially made a video saying, hey, my channel, the views have dropped on my channel because I literally stopped making videos. Like, that's why. It's my fault. It's 100% my fault. I said that. It's my fault that my views are down because I'm focusing on live streaming. And he misrepresented that to say that I'm blaming him for my channel dying now. And I'm like, what? That's not even remotely close to what I fucking said. That's not even remotely close. You're just completely misrepresenting everything I said now. And that was an eye-opener for me. I was like, wow, is this what you do? Okay. J.R. Miller says, Jeremy, if Interstellar left you thoughtful about God, you really need to watch Martin Scorsese's Silence. Well, Interstellar didn't really leave me thinking about God. To me, it's a story about a father's love for his daughter, which really connects with me. And I love the aspect of space exploration. I love the idea of time travel. I love the fact that, Coop is a guy that is not built for the world he's in, and he's an explorer and a pioneer. So I never really looked at Interstellar from a perspective of that. That video changed my perception of it, though. I never thought about it from a religious standpoint, and I don't necessarily think that was Nolan's direct intention, but even direct or indirect, it's kind of like, I don't think Nolan is some Christian conservative at all. I think Nolan is a lefty. I think he's I don't think he's like extreme Mark Hamill left, but I think he's a lefty. I think that's just, of course he is. So I don't think that like Nolan is some like, religious figure or some shit like that. It's almost like The Matrix, okay? Like the fucking weirdos that made The Matrix. They're both trans weirdos now, okay? But they made the fucking Matrix, and they get really angry when people talk about the red pill and the blue pill. They didn't mean to make a based movie, but they did make one. And they really, really, really hate that people reference that movie now. So anyway, J.R. Miller says, bro, who the fuck's talking about Nolan? I'm talking about you. Well, I'm talking about the fucking movie. Nolan is the guy that directed Interstellar, bro. Your comment said, if Interstellar left you thinking about God, you should watch Martin Scorsese's movie. I said it didn't leave me thinking about God. The video made me think about it. That's what I said. Elite Super Grunt says, last time God interfered, he flooded the world. Let's see here. Kevin Spears says, Whataburger tastes like Sonic, and Sonic tastes like dirty ass. How do you know what dirty ass tastes like? Just curious. I mean, that's the natural follow-up question to this is, how do you know what dirty ass tastes like? Just asking. It's a logical follow-up question. Let's see here. JRL says, maybe this was a dark way to look at it, but God is eternal and outside of time. Humans are bound by time, but soul is with God. I believe aren't. So I believe when he entered heaven, he already was able to greet those he loves and wants to protect. Maybe I'm wrong, but food for thought. It's a fascinating thing to think about. It really is. And that's what that video did for me, is it made me think about that from a different perspective. I am Brockatron says, Alex Jones has been pressured to go anti-Israel by the callers on his show, and with Owen leaving, it seems like Alex hasn't covered news in months. Sad but true. Is that Roll in Tighter says, we are IDOTs, roll tide. I mean, I knew what you were saying because I see I see the player and all that, but I was making sure I wasn't saying something I wasn't supposed to say. Bill Herb says, and roll tide, sir. If you want a movie that makes you think of God, watch Ghostbusters 2016. It'll make you say, oh God, why? Yes, it will. Even though I haven't seen it because I refuse to watch it. But even the trailers made me say that. Even the trailers did that. All right. Because it's just that bad. Dude, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Jarbo is giving the quartering advice. We have reached a point in time where Matt Jarbo is giving the quartering advice, and not just giving him advice, giving him sound advice. This is good advice. This is really good advice. Mundane Matt Jarbo says, Jeremy, I'm going to give you some advice you gave me 8 years ago. Log off. It doesn't matter what you did or what you didn't do. No one will believe you, and you're never beating the allegations. This is your life now, and it is never going to change. Holy shit. That is wild. That is crazy. I can't believe this. Oh no, if he denies it, I really hope he doesn't say that he was out collecting boulders with his bull. Holy shit. Oh no. There's some deep internet lore that a lot of my viewers on this channel are not going to understand, and I apologize to every one of you. Some of this is going to be completely foreign to you. Some of you are not going to understand this, but I promise you, the people that do understand this, this is internet gold right here. This is true internet gold. But it is true internet gold. We're not going to get into the weeds though, but oh boy, what a time to be alive on the internet and watch this all play out right before our very eyes. This is next level shit right here. What is this? The internet is fake and gay and retarded. You see it in my replies. You see it in these mind-numbing Forrest Whitaker eyes. What is this? Hang on.
It may be time to put grandpa up in a home. She says the 25th Amendment needs to be invoked. He's a genocidal lunatic. Our Congress and military need to intervene. We are beyond madness. Beyond it. Beyond it. Oh, God, I love the internet is undefeated, guys. So this guy, Tizzy Ent, who is a retard, says he might just stumble into it. And here's a tweet from me with 1 million views. I said, dude, all caps.
I got to give Tim credit. His trolling on Twitter is pretty good. His trolling on Twitter is really good.
What if it turns out it was Trump the whole time with Epstein and Democrats had nothing to do with it? Because these people are retarded and the internet is fake and gay. They don't actually seek to investigate, to understand. And this is the perfect example. What do you do?
The weirdest part of this timeline, the weirdest part of this fucking timeline. Somebody said something in the chat that made me laugh. I just got to highlight your comment. This is completely unrelated to the point I'm going to make. But Ethan Ralph is the one behind the entire thing. So fucking good. All right, the weirdest thing that's going on with all of this shit happening. The weirdest thing is I don't hate Tim Pool as much as I used to. I just said it. I don't hate Tim as much as I used to. I know. Weird shit's going on right now.
You know, honest question, like, what do you do? What is the point of this tweet that I made at 7:33 p.m.? Well, we were in pre-production for Timcast IRL, sitting down, going over these stories, and Melania Trump came out last night. It's a big story saying that she had nothing to do with Epstein, shocking a lot of people. And then I said, oh, here we go. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make this tweet. Should I do it? And then I do this sometimes. I like type it out and I'm like, should I do it? Like there was one point.
Considering he isn't turning on Trump, To be fair, I don't consider Tim a massive Trump supporter. I still think Tim is a fair weather Trump supporter for sure. But he's a level-headed guy who I think he understands the internet better than I've given him credit for. However, he has made some massive mistakes. You know, shutting his chat down, members only, all of that. Massive, massive mistakes. Very bad optics from an internet perspective. But he does understand the internet better than I gave him credit for.
Where I said, Mary Morgan was on the show, and I said, Catholicism is the only true, sect of Christianity or whatever. And then I typed it on Twitter. I was like, should I do it? And she's like, yes. And then Phil's like, do it. And I tweeted it. And then Twitter just blew up with people being like, no. And they're like all fighting over internecine conflict, we call it. So the point of this tweet was literally the all caps, dude, Trump, it was Trump the whole time. And these people are fake, gay, and retarded. And the reason why I say that is because anybody who took 2 seconds to actually know who I am, what we actually think on this show, would ignore this. They'd be like, Tim's an idiot. He posts stupid things like this all the time. I once posted, it should be illegal to believe in God. And then I followed it with, I think I said, it should be illegal to not believe in God. And then literally followed up right away with, it should be illegal to believe in God. And what did we get? Literally conservatives arguing, being like, what are you talking about? And liberals were posting it all over the internet being like, oh my God, look at them fascists. They want to make us believe in God by force because they're retarded.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. The thing about Twitter is Twitter should never be taken seriously. The only thing Twitter is good for is to get Team YouTube to acknowledge you and help you out with your channels being in trouble. That is the only true thing that Twitter is good for. All right? That's it. It is crazy. Twitter is a fucking war zone. But it does help you if your channel's in trouble and you tag Team YouTube. That's about the only thing that's the only way we can really get YouTube to respond to us and acknowledge us. But what a wild time it is. Now we've got this right here, an absolute war zone. It is. So I want to hear this full video right here. So he's reacting to this Tucker Carlson news. So earlier in the day, I brought up this CNN clip where CNN is talking about Tucker Carlson receiving massive backlash from conservatives after the Trump fallout. I haven't heard his take on it yet, so let me hear.
Let's start off with Tucker Carlson, who has been in absolute free fall with Republicans. I mean, just take a look at this. Look at this trend line. Tucker Carlson's net favorable. Back in March of 2024, when he and Donald Trump were very close friends, look at this. He was at plus 54 points. Look at where he is today at only plus 7 points among Republicans, and that includes GOP-leaning independents. I mean, that is a drop of what, 47 percentage points. My goodness gracious, when you go up against Donald Trump and you want to appeal to the Republican base, to quote the movie Good Burger, you go on the grinder.
I love to see this. I am glad to see that. And it's not even as simple as just when you go up against Trump. Tucker, I don't know what his deal is. I don't know what his goals are. I do not think he's productive for the country. I think he's helping to push our country.
His goal is to help himself. I mean, that's kind of become pretty obvious. So, I mean, that's his goal. And credit where credit is due. Tucker Carlson has fooled a lot of people. I think Tucker Carlson has been able to fool more people than almost anyone. It's crazy how many people he fooled.
Country in the wrong direction, and even geopolitics as a whole, the direction of the globe. I think he's working to push that in the wrong direction. I don't think he's happy that we've been destroying terrorists. I don't. Tucker was outraged that Trump poked fun at the regime in Iran and said, like, praise be to Allah or something after one of his posts. Tucker was not happy about that.
That's true. Being that unhappy about praise be to Allah, that's what you're unhappy with? That's what you're unhappy with? That somebody says praise be to Allah is a joke and that made you offended? Stop. I agree with Michael B. Jordan here.
The message in our Bible. which is you are not God. And only if you think you are do you talk this way. But it's not just mockery of Islam. And no president should mock Islam. That's not your job. This is not a theocracy. We don't go to war with other theocracies to find out which theocracy is more effective.
Trump better not poke fun of the Islamist, theocratic, dictatorial regimes on Tucker's watch. No, he better not do that. But I think we're going to get to what this is really about. It's very obvious Tucker's no fan of Israel. And right now, Israel and the U.S. are working together and wiping out Israel's #1 rival for different reasons, partially. But nonetheless, we've still been working together. Tucker.
What's our boy, the comedian, up to? I need to look up this guy, this comedian. By the way, I will, though, I saw you in the chat again, but I will be looking into that Martin Scorsese movie, Silence. I will. Let me see here. Even though you were like mad at me, you're like, you're going to hell, Jeremy. I guess because I read your super chat and you didn't like it. I don't know. Still, thanks for the recommendation. Where's this guy at? I gotta find him again. I can't remember. I can never remember his name, so I go to my following. Silence is long and slow. I like slow, methodical movies. I've always liked them. Here we go. Okay, here's our Tucker Carlson guy. What is this? Well, it looks like Donald Trump invoked the nuclear option. Okay, hang on.
Listen, I think we have to go nuclear.
I beg your pardon?
We got to do it.
Mr. President, sir.
We got to do it. We got to drop a nuke.
Mr. President, are you sure about this?
Drop the nuke.
Sir.
Let's do it.
Should we reconsider?
No, it's gone on too long. We've waited too long. It's gone on too long. We're tired of this. The American people are tired of this. MAGA's tired of this. We got to drop the nuke. Drop the nuke.
Sir, I implore you, deploying nuclear weapons against the Iranian regime could have disaster.
No, I'm talking about the Truth Social post against Tucker, Candace, Megyn Kelly, Alex Jones. Yeah.
Oh.
We go nuclear. Let's do it.
Copy that, sir. Yes.
A whole civilization, and by that I mean their following, dies tonight.
We'll start drafting the post.
It's going to be devastating, the likes of which you've never seen. Fire and fury, that's what I'm going to post. And for Megyn Kelly, there'll be blood coming out of her ears. There'll be blood coming out of everywhere. You remember that?
I do, sir.
Let's do it.
How many of you remember that Megyn Kelly comment? Blood coming out of her eyes, coming out of her wherever. Oh, I remember that one.
And, sir, about Iran?
Iran we'll deal with tomorrow, okay?
Copy that, Mr. President.
Let's start with our online proxies.
I concur.
Okay.
Good plan, sir.
Okay.
All right, that's the most recent one on his channel. So let's see what we got here. Tucker, I played that one. Let's see. You don't have anything new right now. Let's see. Oh, no.
We are here. We are at the gates. We are at the gates of truth, like a truthgasm. We're so close to climaxing. We're going to discover what's really going on. And what we have in this week's episode is a bombshell discovery, a phone call made on September 10th by, you guessed it, Erica Kirk. She made a very interesting phone call. I just find it interesting. I find it very interesting that she would make this phone call. Apparently,
this is really good.
At some point, she got hungry.
This is really good.
I don't know how you would get hungry on a day like that. I don't know how you would even have an appetite. Really I don't know how you would have that in any way, how you would have an appetite to order food, how you could think about food. But apparently she got hungry and made a phone call. And we, thanks to my mommy slews, we have intercepted a recording of that phone call that took place on September 10th. So we're going to listen to this audio now, this recording of Erica Kirk ordering lunch or dinner. What meal it was for, we don't know. I don't know, but we'll see. Let's take a listen.
Hello. Hi, can I place an order? Sure. What would you like? Okay. Let's start with the appetizers. Can we get the large wings, please? One large wings.
Okay, well, stop there. Wings. Wings. I just find that very interesting, okay? Could that be a reference to Egyptian planes?
This is exactly what she does. She will take any comment and just twist it into, oh, is that what this means? Wings.
I find that the very first thing she would order, she's trying to order food, is wings. Clearly, there's some kind of connection to Egyptian planes. Some people think this restaurant she was ordering from might have been located at Fort Huachuca. Let's continue listening.
And we'll just get 2 orders of the sliders. The chicken tenders, and then the platter with hummus. Sure. And it comes with pizza? Yes, it does.
Okay. You guys, they think we're stupid. She's ordering hummus and kebab and pizza. She was clearly talking to someone who was Israeli, working for Mossad, who was trying to deliver something to Erica Kirk, but I doubt it was actually food. We look no further than the Epstein emails that were released to know that when they're talking about food, these people, they're demonic. They're not actually talking about food. This audio is verified. I had it verified by one of my sources in the government, in the FBI and in the CIA and in counterterrorism. My source, Joe
Candace, we're going to cut this. So move on.
In any event, this just doesn't feel right. I don't know. I'm not buying it. Erica, I'm not buying it. Whatever your cravings, whatever you wanted to eat, whatever you wanted for lunch or dinner, I'm not buying it. Nobody is.
Dude, he is really good. For people are asking, this is him right here. This is his Twitter account. He's really freaking on point. So highly recommend checking his stuff out. That was great. Now, we got a couple of things to cover really quickly here. I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance. I'm going to apologize in advance to all of the wonderful people that are still here after midnight. So you can't get mad at me. But this one's going to give you nightmares. But the rule on the internet is that if I had to hear it, you have to hear it. Okay? My goodness. Welcome to Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris tried to give a Trump impression. Autism Capital says this might actually be the worst Trump impression anyone has ever done. I also want to apologize to Fear the Beardo. Fear the Beardo, once upon a time, had a terrible Trump impression. Fear the Beardo now has arguably the greatest Trump impression I have ever seen compared to this one. This is terrible. This is awful. Here we go.
Well, he's pulled back because, you know, the way that he's thinking of foreign policy, it seems, is when he talks about America first, it's to withdraw from these relationships and these connections. And then he kind of acts like a mob boss. So then he's kind of like, well, you know, you take Eastern Europe and I'll take the Western Hemisphere. And then you over there, you get Asia. And we'll just divide it up, right? Instead of understanding historically, America has always been about our global leadership, imperfect though we have been.
Oh my God. Oh man. That is fucking horrible. Like, I know it didn't matter. I could not prepare you for the terror that I was about to unleash on you, but that was painful. The most cringy human being there is, man. This woman has negative aura. She's like Marmilla says, no more super chats after this. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to admit something. All right. I'm gonna have to admit something. I made a mistake earlier. Okay. I made a statement about the quartering, doing the one thing that you can't do. You can never come back from this. I said, there's the one thing you can't do as a YouTuber. You can't false flag a channel. And I said, it's the one thing. I might have missed, and I might have probably mentioned that there's two things you could actually do. You can either false flag a YouTube channel, or you can play this clip from Kamala Harris. I will never recover from this. John freaking Murdoch says, is it possible to do a negative super chat? Woo, man. Yeah, people are pissed off. People are really mad at me now. As you should be, to be fair. You should be mad at me. You should. I deserve it. Dead channel now. It's over. It's over. Let's see. Aaron Adams says, real question is, what will you think about Trump if the economy gets worse because he didn't take care of the oil? I'm not trying to be anti-Trump. No, it's a fair question. It's a fair question. I mean, listen, I've said I don't like this Iran situation on the surface. I also have acknowledged that the image that you're looking at right now, I do believe that's what Trump's plan is. So we're going to have to see, but that's what I believe his plan is. But I will criticize him if I need to. JDT199 says, ruined my night tax. Ruined my night tax. It's all over. Dan Bass says, negative super chat. You know what? You want to know how to send a negative super chat? Go to Brazil and send me a fucking super chat just like Dan did. He literally just sent me a negative super chat because of the shit currency. Like, now it's over. Like, I owe him money now. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate that. Stormbreaker says, Jeremy, WWF or WCW, both in their prime. I'm going to have to go prime WWF. At the height of the Attitude Era with Stone Cold Steve Austin, unmatched. I love prime WCW as well, but you're not going to beat Stone Cold, dude. Like, Stone Cold prime Attitude Era is unbeatable. And to be fair, prime WCW was a bit of a fool's gold. Prime WCW was kind of operating despite itself, and it was never going to be sustainable. If you've actually looked at a lot of the documentaries of WCW and how it was run, and how, you know, Turner didn't really believe in it, and all of that. So it was like, it was awesome, but it was fool's gold. It wasn't going to last. But yeah, I will take Stone Cold over anybody. Miniature Revolt Think says, Tim Pool has little brother energy, mock and protect. I like Tim Pool. He's basically my favorite YouTuber now. So I'm inspired that now I'm probably going to create a show that's inspired by Tim Pool. You think I should do that? Should I start a show that's inspired by Tim Pool? I think that would be good. What do you guys think? What should I call it, though? Like, what should I call it? Can't think of a name. I'm not sure. Maybe CobraCast, IRL, maybe that. John freaking Murdoch for 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, John. Harley Dave says, Dan Vask offset tax. Let's freaking go. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. See there? See there? All right, listen, I was watching this earlier. It's just somebody brought up, thank you, Harley Dave. Hail to you, brother. I was watching this earlier, and since somebody brought it up, I've got to show you guys this. This is one of the funniest things I've seen. All right, so Big Show, if you watched wrestling back in the day, the Big Show, he was talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin here, okay? Now, I would encourage you to watch the whole clip if you're a wrestling fan, but we're only going to play the last little bit here, okay? Because this is the most guy thing I've ever heard. So he's talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin and giving him a call. All right? I think it's like right here, okay? So he's talking about calling Stone Cold Steve Austin. Every guy I know would respond like Stone Cold does right here. Watch this.
I earned Steve's respect, and I love Steve. I mean, my God, I love that dude to death. Like, I would call him every day if I know it wouldn't irritate him, you know, because like we can talk hunting and guns and cars, and you know, then I'll wear him out. So I use my Stone Cold time preciously because I love the dude to death. But I FaceTimed him one day, and
I hear, listen.
He answers the phone and goes, "God damn, dude, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm just seeing what you're doing." He goes, "Dudes don't FaceTime dudes. Hang up and call me back regular." So I was like, I didn't know that dudes don't FaceTime dudes. Okay, I just want to see my friend. Hey, man, what's going on? You know, I was like, okay, note to self, dudes do not FaceTime dudes. I got that. I'm going to write that in my man book.
Have you always been able to do these great impressions?
That is so accurate, man. One more time, dude. Just hearing him talk like Stone Cold.
Call him every day if I know it wouldn't irritate him, you know, because like we can talk hunting and guns and cars, and you know, then I'll wear him out. So I use my Stone Cold time preciously because I love the dude to death. But I FaceTimed him one day, and he answers the phone and goes, "God damn, dude, what are you doing?" I said, I'm just seeing what you're doing. He goes, "Dudes don't FaceTime dudes. Hang up and call me back regular." So I was like, I didn't know that dudes don't FaceTime dudes. Okay, I just want to see my friend. Hey, man, what's going on? You know.
Oh, man. Old school wrestling stories are the best. Big Show talking about Stone Cold is awesome. So that's good stuff right there. John Wayne for 20 says, let's see, had to find it out to see if it existed, or let's see, had to find it out if it existed. The Ice People 1968 sci-fi novel Expedition into Antarctica unearths a 900,000-year-old civilization destroyed by war, and two people in suspended animation with knowledge to solve humanity problems. That sounds awesome, actually. That sounds super cool. The Ice People. Jesse Ventura, maybe he's not as crazy as we thought. Maybe he knows what's going on. That's good stuff right there. Hail to you, John Wayne. Thank you for the info, brother. Appreciate that. The Bouldering IRL, says Harley Dave. The Bouldering IRL. Maybe I can name it that. That would be perfect. Let's see. Samurai says that Tim P has been meandering a lot lately. Less info. The CC. Logan says Tucker changed after he went to Russia. Heel refs says Israel wings better than Whataburger. Don't get the anti-Israel crowd started on that one. Elite Super Grunt says my Eagle, Globe, and Anchor says that we own the Western Hemisphere. Andrew 230 says Macho Man Steamboat WrestleMania 3 or Undertaker Mankind King of the Ring. I'm gonna go Steamboat Savage at WrestleMania 3. I think that's it's definitely one of the greatest matches of all time. I think that, and I've mentioned this before, but in my opinion, one of the single most underrated matches in history is Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk at SummerSlam. 2011-ish time frame. I can't remember. But watch Punk versus Lesnar at SummerSlam. That is an all-timer, and I think that might be CM Punk's best match he ever had. He made Lesnar look like the Beast. Is it 2013? Is that what it was? Okay, 2013. Yeah, because he quit in 2014, right? So it was right before he quit. So that's one of his last matches. Watch that match if you have not. So fucking good. A masterpiece from Punk. Let's see. John Jones says Tim missed an opportunity not calling his podcast The Pool Table. Bill Herb says FaceTiming dudes tax. John Jones says the Iceman cometh. Chalky says check out Jesse interviewed Trump at WrestleMania 20. Jesse Ventura interviewed Trump at WrestleMania 20? Really? The Royal Wee says the biggest failure of the Trump administration is him not having the person responsible for the Butler attempt suspended by their toes. CIA, FBI. Agreed. Trump Trooper says CM Punk versus Jeff Hardy SummerSlam TLC. Damn good. Damn good. The Rock versus Hogan, turning Hogan back babyface. Legendary match. One of the best ever. Obviously, it goes without saying, but Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13? I think. Was it 13? I think it was 13 or 11. I can't remember. But you all remember that one. The one where Austin passed out with the blood on his face. That was it. That's one of the best matches ever. 13. Okay. And then Austin Rock at WrestleMania 17 is up there as well. Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, both WrestleManias back to back. I think 24 and 25 or 25 and 26. Those were incredible matches. Iron Man match, Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 12. That's another banger. Damn good one. One of these days, we're going to do the wrestling stream on Geeks and Gamers. Okay. I told Mike to get it set up. Okay. So if Mike doesn't get it set up now, I told him to set it up for a Thursday. And, so if it doesn't get done now, it's Mike's fault. It's Epic Mike's fault if it doesn't get done. Blame him. Okay. Aaron Adams says, I'm 27 and I love asking you political questions. Well, I appreciate that. A lot of sure's in the chat. Sure. Bearded Storm Shadow says, anti-Whataburger figs worse than anti-Israel figs. I'm not anti-Whataburger. I think Whataburger is an amazing establishment. Okay. I'm a fan, but it's just not better. It's just not better than, In-N-Out Burger. It's just not. But on that note, before we get out of here, some of you will care. Some of you won't care. But I know I care about this news right here. I got to find it really quickly. This is actually kind of crazy news. Wasn't expecting this. This is more like local to Orlando peeps or whatever. But it's still crazy to see. And right here, ladies and gentlemen, Burger King is leaving City Walk, Orlando, and we're getting a Five Guys burgers and fries. So the Whopper bar is going away at City Walk, Orlando Universal. And Five Guys burgers and fries is replacing it. I am really happy about that. I am really happy. So that's good stuff. I can't wait. Now we will miss the Burger King crowns for, we'll miss the Burger King crowns for obvious reasons. But outside of that, Five Guys burgers and fries is much better than Burger King. It just is. So cool. $15 burgers and all. It will be expensive. It will be expensive for sure. Babo Yogi says, this show sucks. I'm going to wait for Baking Bad this Sunday. Jessica's making greasy duck tacos. Mod lives matter. Yes, they do. Toddy says, Montreal Screwjob, real or work? Want final answer. I believe it was real. Is real. I believe it is real. No, I believe it was a real story. Like, it was not a work. I believe Vince was really pissed off at Bret Hart. I believe Bret Hart thought a little too highly of himself, even though he is the greatest in-ring worker of all time. But yeah, it's real. Israel screwed Bret. All right, guys, we're going to call it there. Thank you all so very much for all of the support. The best chat on the internet, and it's not even close. I really appreciate it so much. So thank you so much. I will be live again this weekend. I know last weekend I missed Saturday and Sunday. I usually try to hit up one of those days, but I just had a lot going on. But I will be live tomorrow, so I'll see all of you then. I really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me, and thanks for just not hating me. So, but yeah. Jess says, I am not making tacos. Well, they'll still be tuning in. So, all right, guys, have a good evening, and we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.